All right, Michael Crawley, the man from Valley Eyewear, has come in to have a chat on Gypsy Tales because from everything I've heard about you, mate, you've got tales to tell.
I may have a few. Whether they're good or bad, we'll decide.
This could go in like a million ways to start with, but I thought instead of taking the super long route to get to where you're at now, you were saying last night you just did your first sale, or your second sale ever of Valley Eyewear and just crushed it. So that's got to be a pretty crazy feeling, day out. Because I know, for me, say you put out a podcast and then it's like, it's cool to that next day to see how it happened. So I mean, I think that as successful as you guys are with Valley, you'd still have that feeling, right?
Oh, I still froth out. I woke up at 5, just bang, check my phone, check the stats, see what's going on. Even the guy, my web guy as well, he was up at 5 and he froths as well. So I still get super excited about everything, every element of it after all this time, It's not that 6 years we've been doing it, so.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess because I'll maybe flatten that out a little bit too. Yeah, so it's pointed way out. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
They're just, these things work sick when you're this far away from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So just get it to wherever it's comfy.
Okay.
That feeling I think is because people don't see the hours that go into it. It'd be you and your wife and the people on the team that know exactly how much, and it never gets routine. It never stops being a fucking beast that you've got to, continually tame.
Yeah. Just before I came here, we were all in our warehouse, 2 of us on the ground on laptops, talking about shit, and it's just it's like a little family hub. It's crazy, and amongst the madness, it's still fun after all this time, which is epic.
Well, I reckon the creative freedom that you have, you're the boss.
Yeah.
You're not answering to a ton of different people, and you're not, I guess, trying to predict trends. It's just if you think it's dope and the people around you think it's dope, then that's what you're going to do.
Yeah. And the thing too, we can react at any time. Even when I did the Bulgaria clip, when we went up and found that abandoned Communist Party building, the decision to do that was 3 weeks before I landed in Bulgaria or something. And then when we just did Croatia, Bosnia into Serbia, the decision to do that was 10 days before I landed in Croatia, sitting in my office with everyone. I was like, we need content. I want to do this. I want to do that. And everyone's like, okay. And one of the guys who works with us, a sales guy, looks at me and goes, you're fucking going, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I am. Because I played that, showed him what I had planned. And we immediately mapped out our trip through these Eastern European countries, and the boys were like, you fucker, you're going, aren't you? I'm like, 100% I'm going, before I'd even secured models or stylist, hair and makeup chick, or even the film guy. So yeah.
It's rad there's such a, I think that's the feeling that you chase almost as an entrepreneur more than the money or the sales. It's the fulfillment that comes from I've talked about it before, is that it's nothing and then it's something. And there's you could get as deep and hokey and weird about it as you want, but it's there's this thing that now exists in the universe that came from somewhere else. And it's where do ideas come from? Where does inspiration come from? And then it's is it all just floating in some realm that we don't know about or can't see, and then it gets given to you, and then it's up to you to decide whether
execute
or not,
it or not. Yeah, 100%.
And you can get super weird about that stuff, but I love that shit.
I do too. I sit up at night and just watch or troll the internet for just I don't know, this weird shit that I like, and I'll just get an idea I reckon if we could do that, and you think about it in your head, and then it just manipulates into this beast, and then it's I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah,
and
dude, for sure.
It's crazy. And we said the other day, if it was if Valley was Chanel or one of those big brands, the shoots that we do would cost millions of dollars.
Dude, I know, huh? Yeah.
Because they just have such a beast, and we do it for a minimal amount. People will be blown away because we do it ourselves. My buddy comes and films, I take the photos. We rented a van that cost $300 and drove 1,800 kilometers in 6 days through Eastern Europe. And they'd have a production bus and had 2 models in the back, hair and makeup chick, a stylist, and that was it. The 6 of us, and off we went.
It's crazy. Our with our film company, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the stuff that I've done. I shouldn't say I've done. We've done. You do these shoots that if it was Hollywood,
Yep.
it'd be $1 million shoot.
Yep.
But it's 20 grand and us 4 dudes, and
Yep.
we make a clip that gets like 7 million views on YouTube.
Yep.
And you live in that, like, we live in that world. And like,
That's
I
crazy.
love that surfing and motocross and that whole action sports, BMX, like,
Yep.
you get these like core dudes that are bred there, and then they tailor their skills around the vision that they're trying to create. There's not like a skill set and then an application. It's like an application, and the skill set develops around it.
Yeah, oh, it's insane. Even like when we went away, the models, they're called the Lastlings, Josh and Amy Dowdle, their brother and sister. I used like them. They're dope looking. They made the music for the clip that we're releasing next week.
I was gonna ask you when you sent me the clip this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to say, man, who scored that?
Yeah, Josh did it. The guy who in the clip.
No shit.
He made the music.
Bro, I was actually gonna ask you who did that, because it was so eerie and cool and quirky, and like it felt high fashion. So maybe, I don't know when we'll drop this, but maybe if the clip's out, I'll like show it.
We can drop it for sure. Like in the
oh,
middle
we'll
of
just
this.
put it on.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'll like put it over the top of this.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I was really impressed, and the drone shot that you showed me, how it pulls back. What was that object?
Well, that's like that whole trip I just did. They're called Spomenics. So I guess back in the day before they divided like Croatia, Serbia and Bosnia, whoever the president was back then in the late 60s, early 70s, he orchestrated all these artists to make these commemorative like monuments in these key locations of World War II, like places where fucking heavy shit went down. So there's like 60 of them all scattered around Eastern Europe, and they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, that shit looked like...
It's like Star Wars shit, or like...
It looked like you called the dude who did the set design for the new Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And just went, hey, got this fucking gangster eyewear company, and I want this Blade Runner themed in Bosnia. Yeah. And they CGI designed this like insane monument.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Like I
was tripping when you sent it.
The video guy who did Bulgaria as well, his name's Liam O'Brien, he's a legend. I showed him these monuments when we're in Bulgaria. I was like, fuck, how's I found these other ones? And then he was in New York last year, and he found a book in a bookstore of all these monuments, and he brought it back to Oz and posted it to me.
Yeah, right.
So it's been sitting on my desk for like a year.
And that's just been teasing you
just
the
fucking
whole
looking
time.
at me. That big winged one was on the cover. I was like, fuck, I'm going there.
And has anyone else used that?
I haven't seen anyone use it.
That's so crazy.
It's
that
nuts.
Like you just, and it's like you said, you can react so fast compared to like Chanel or Dior or those like that's your company.
Yeah.
And you just can go out on a whim 10 days before and produce something that like there's what you guys produce is as high quality as like any Chanel or Dior, Gucci kind of.
It's pretty crazy content.
Yeah, and that's just that whole. That's where we come from. Like.
Yeah, that's what we said. We got when we went through all the photos when I got back. We're like, we have to make like a book or something. Like we can't. This can't just get wasted just on the internet. Like you know, just feel like it has to be in someone's hands or like flick through it, and have it on the table.
How big are you on the physical side of things? Because man, it's hard these days to everything lives on the internet, and it's like. I even saw, what did I see today that made me think about that? It was like, a dude, Tom Morello posted a picture that somebody had like a sketch, and it was a really rad sketch from him in Tokyo this year. They just toured. And he just like took the photo of it, and the photo now lives on Instagram. So it's like this physical thing. And like the value for Tom Morello is to put that on your little clipboard, your little, lookbook that you create for your life, essentially on Instagram.
Crazy, eh? I know. I'm huge into the like having like good catalogs and the way like good stock, good packaging, like all that stuff to me is so important. Just like the whole process of your whole brand is just like, you want it to be an experience, not just like a digital platform, but be like a physical, people can be impressed with your rollout on
social media.
Yeah. When they get your packaging, it just like comes in a fucking paper envelope. There you go. That's so shit.
Yeah.
But if you get this like dope packaging, you're like, these guys give a fuck.
Yeah, they get it.
We could cut $3 or $4 off packaging to get bigger margin, but come on.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
People would get our stuff, they're like, holy fuck.
It's crazy to because I think there's like a bigger thing and there's like an overall theme that we'll probably be, I guess, covering with this podcast is the fact that you were the corporate, big surf, big company. Like it was the era of like small company, massive corporation, multi-million dollars, now gets fucked by the startup boutiques. It's come full circle. You know what I mean? And like you're the epitome of that, I think. And there's a couple of people, but
thanks.
It's crazy that there's still that old head mentality. Like you look at like and the action sports crew is probably not going to follow along with some of this stuff, but like a Revlon or it's like they just it's just a box and it's a square. You know, if it's lipstick or whatever it is, it's just a box and it's just shitty cardboard and it's just super disposable. It's not part of the experience at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to break through that to get to the product of the experience. But so like with companies like you guys and a friend of mine, you should actually check them out. They just started a skincare brand called Asare, and they're an Australian company, and they're trying to do the same thing where it's like the packaging is the product as well. And like with them, they're competing in that high-end luxury skincare space. And it's like they just went so far left with their packaging, and it's really cool. Out. Yeah, and they're an all Australian company, and they do an Outback clay mask and just really cool. Pretty sick. Yeah, they do really cool stuff, and I think it's that the testament of like companies now. Back in, I mean, when would you say like 90s, early 2000s? Like you could not compete with those big companies.
You wouldn't. Well, people just wouldn't give you the time of day either. Like even when we first started going out with Valley, that was the thing. It was like, we had the product and like, your product's good, but I don't know. Like, we've got Celine and we've got blah, blah, blah. To break in was really hard. I think, we got lucky because we kind of started when Instagram started, which benefited in our favor, and we had no budget. So I was just reposting people's shots wearing our shit. So you know what I mean? That's kind of how we grew our following and all that stuff. So we got really lucky, I think, in our timing. Was just like we were blessed with that. But then we started to get discovered and people go like, this brand, and they give you a go and the sell through was good. And then they're like, fuck, this actually moves, $200 instead of $350. Oh yeah, mid-range price, high quality, that was our savior.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I think it is that reactive thing. And like I wanted to ask you because I think that this is like a trend, a massive trend that I've kind of noticed with like work, especially you work with like bands. So like the band work that I've done, the model, like you start doing some fashion stuff, and then you even Quiksilver. It's like as soon as something gets big enough to where it's like on a corporate level, and dude, like honestly, you see this a bit with Red Bull too. It's like it's starting to be more of like a which way is the wind blowing, and that's the way we're going to go. And it's like as soon as you hit that point, it's like fucking over, dude.
I know. That's interesting you say that because we were just at a trade show in New York. I guess everyone's doing this like mini like fucking cat eye thing right now. Everyone like jumped on it, and I was like, fuck. And this magazine rang me the other day, said, apparently Kanye West has said you cannot wear big sunnies anymore. And I'm like, the day Kanye West dictates the eyewear industry, fuck off.
Yeah, I know.
So I went and made bigger ones. Fuck Kanye. And so, I do like his shit. He's amazing. But I mean, come on.
But like...
and we were at the trade show, and feedback from us was, don't stop doing what you're doing. Like, you're not following the trends. You're doing your own thing. We like the big, chunky acetate stuff you guys do. Don't try and be everyone else. Be yourself. What you've done. It works for us. Don't change.
Because like when you were at Quickie, you were probably there when it was still able to like move fast and change and do certain things. And then you can watch these companies change to where it's like they're following a trend. And I call people like connoisseurs of cool because I think that I mean, dude, like when I was a kid, I got bullied at school and picked on, and I was just like, what is cool? I wish I was cool. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people struggle with that. And then a lot of people, even like, dude, I got friends now that they kind of put their finger in the air and want to move towards whatever way cool is going in the clothes and and it's like, my best mate when I was a kid was cool as fuck. And like, I was always like, what is it about Tyson that's so cool?
He oozes the cool.
Yeah. But then like I grow up and I'm like, oh, he just didn't give a fuck about being cool. Like that's actually what cool is. That was cooler,
yeah.
Because it's like when there's only one person that can be you. Like you're the only person that can pull that off.
Yeah.
Like that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
What's not cool is being the same as like other people.
Yeah, being a Xerox machine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then so I think that works for people. It works for companies. It works for brands. It works for so much stuff. And especially like, you know, you get music like recording artists.
Yep.
And if they're listening to A&R sort of that development and like, I think we should move in this direction. Like Linkin Park is a perfect example. When they first were getting signed, they wanted Mike Shinoda to not rap at all, like not do any vocals. They're like, Chester Bennington, he's one of the best vocalists we've ever heard. Just build the band around his vocals. And they all were like, no, fuck that. And it's like, then what happens? Rap rock becomes like this thing, and then you get Limp Bizkit and you get all these other people that are like kind of jumping on it. So it's like they were the ones that
kind of like forefronted it, pioneered it, kind of thing.
And it's just because of just being themselves.
Yeah, that's so good.
And it's like, then that's what I see with you guys.
Yeah.
And then you would have been caught in that quickie machine towards the end, I'm sure.
For sure. I saw it from where like the guys that I worked with at Quickie, like Nardis Corpus, this other guy, Nat Johnson, really talented people. They could be reactive to art and do really rad stuff. But then I think you would see like the bosses step in and be like, no, I think we should go. Well, when would you ask a 50-year-old man what a useful company should do?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Leave it in the hands of the art department and let them move forward.
Yeah.
So I think that was a good learning curve for me, is just like, do what you think. I ask crew in the office what they think, because sometimes my shit might be fucking out of whack.
Yeah.
You know, it has been. Don't get me wrong, you know. You're not always right. You're going to ask opinions, but watching, I think in those big corporates, when it gets filtered down from, like, you know, you see it from Quiksilver's, Billabongs or Chanel's, whoever they are. I'm sure that the big boss has the final say when the useful art department here is fucking usually on the money.
And they're the ones that are on fucking Hypebeast 24/7 and like scrolling through every single thing, following every blogger, like, because dude, as especially like the amount of time I spend in LA, man, like you'll see one thing happen, like, because there's like these kind of trendy places that you go, like coffee spots, and we're in like West Hollywood, so it's like right there, right where all that shit starts.
You're down on La Brea every day, aren't you?
Dude, for real, like that's the spot. Like,
it is the spot.
That's the spot where we go get coffee.
Melrose and that's come back,
dude. Melrose is good. Like we always go to like Alfred's Coffee on Melrose there. So it's like that's the shit. Like you see everything disappeared
there for a few years, right? I was saying that to my wife the other day. I was like, Melrose kind of died, and kind of like everyone went down into Venice. And then it's come back to like La Brea, Hollywood, and then like
Fairfax as well.
Fairfax
is crazy.
And Melrose is pumping again. Dope stores and like good shit. Like it's come full circle.
Yeah, and you can see shit slowly eke out into that little Fairfax, La Brea ecosystem, and the clothing starts to change, and the glasses start to change, and it's like, people are sort of the like you said, the art director guys. They're the ones that are living in that world.
Yeah, they are.
They got the boots on the ground, man. Like you have to put your ear to that. Like as soon as you get the success and you're the CEO of Quiksilver, or you're the CEO of these massive companies, it's like you're in a gated community. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you've got someone.
You're living in Laguna on the hill there.
Exactly. And it's like, there's no fucking culture there. Like there's no kids on, like you go to Laguna Beach and it's just the Real Housewives of OC. Like that's literally what it looks like.
We were there the other day. That's what we said. It's like, this is so cheesy, man.
Yeah, it's full on, eh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But you've got to go in, and like, dude, even downtown LA is getting funky as hell now.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's going to come back massive.
Yeah, downtown for sure.
And it's already happened. Like, I don't think it's a secret. But yeah, so it's like, I just think that, you get to that place where you're sort of so big and it sees so many people, and then you're measuring the opinion of like 30 people, and then going off a percentage of who thinks is
like a vote system.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got that one guy that has the final say, and then all you're doing is just you're going with a crowd,
with the masses,
and it's really hard. And it was so interesting to watch brands like Brixton pop up, and the logos went like this tee is a brand, Birds of Condor, and it's just a guy and his wife, and they're the two coolest people ever, and they're out of Byron Bay, and they love golf, and they just made this little niche golf brand. And it's fucking rad, but there's no, it's not the big logos anymore, like the Quickie style, like that style went out, and it was like, I think it was companies like Brixton and those ones that sort of took the logos off, and they reduced everything down. They stripped it away because it was like, it got gross, man. Like I look at the stuff that I was wearing when I was a kid, like boardies and fucking shirts, and I was like, dude, that's disgusting.
I know, the world's biggest logos and fucking, I think I don't even have any. No, I said it to my wife the other day. I don't have any color. I feel bad if I even wear white anymore. I even wear a white t-shirt. I just wear black, plain, everything pretty much. 99% of my cupboard, it just looks like a black blob.
Yeah, dude. I just hate, like, I hate logos, really. Yeah. Like, I mean, the small sort of pocket stuff I can get away with, but you won't find me wearing a shirt that's got like a on the front of it. Like, it's just dead. But it's just interesting that old model was so dominant for so long. Yeah. Like, dude, how much money was Quickie turning over in the height when you were there?
I don't know, crap, millions and millions, obviously. Well, then maybe they had one, it was like Quick Strike or something, and it was like big, blown up army logos on an angle on shirts and everything. And like, they sold fucking millions of those things. Yeah. People loved it.
Yeah, it's just crazy that, I guess
you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, No, it just evolves everything,
And then they're playing catch up now to where they're trying to do the trendier sort of, like the no logos and just the little tag on the back and things like that. But it's over. It's too late. Done.
Yeah, for sure. I was saying it the other day, starting a clothing label would be dope. It's like mid-range, like playing good fabrications. It's not like I went to go to the Rick Owens store and the other day, and the pair of walk shorts was $700. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, that's why like Zara and that's killing it. Like their quality sucks. Like they're not. It's not good clothing, but like for how cheap it is, you just fucking wear it twice.
Who has $700 for a pair of walk shorts?
A lot of people that are ridiculous.
I know they do, but none of my mates can.
No, and like. I probably wouldn't want to hang around you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if you can, because again, it's like
paranoid. You spill some sauce or something on your pants. You're fuck,
dude. Right? And like the guy that's wearing the $700 pants probably isn't that cool.
No,
because he's trying pretty hard.
Pretty hard to get there.
He's trying to bridge. He's trying to bridge whatever gap he thinks he's got.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it like working for Quickie back then? Like, it was good. Because you had it in the day.
It was good. It was great. Like, honestly, they were really good to me. Had heaps of freedom. Like, I was kind of torn between the American team and Australia. So I was doing stuff with Kelly and a lot of stuff with Dane Reynolds.
Yep.
So that was fun. Going on surf trips, and I was shooting photos for him and doing all kinds of stuff. So really, I had the best of it. I think I loved it. People that were really good. It just sucked the way it ended, and it was good though. It was a good kick in the ass for me to turn my life around and start something, It was kind of like when I started Valley, a guy called me from Quick actually and was like, what are you doing? But now, and I'm like, oh, haven't you heard? I've started a Sonny's company. I was fucking lying. I wasn't done anything.
Really?
I just fully so I was like, fuck, I've told him I'm doing it. Now I've got to do it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a good little, you got to do it, mate.
We've talked about that when I had Barney Miller on.
Yep.
And he said that, when he met Mick Fanning, he was like, oh, I'm going to try and walk again.
Yeah.
And it was that deal where he just fucking blurted it out and he had no idea if it was even like possible.
Yeah.
And then Mick started that whole thing with like Project Walk, and like he's like, oh, well, if you're serious about it, I'll help you. I know like a ton of people. Yeah. And then he said, I want to surf again. Then like all of a sudden, like all these wetsuits show up from Rip Curl and love like custom made. He's like, fuck, now I'm going to do it.
That's so
like,
good.
There is something to be said for like holding yourself accountable.
Yeah, for sure.
To people that you've kind of said something to.
Yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, and you got to, because I guess it kind of gives you that, that drive to go, fuck, I've kind of blurted it out. I've thrown my balls on the line. Now I've got to do it,
Yeah, I do that shit all the time. And I mean, sometimes stuff doesn't come off, but for the most part, like when you've...
Just gives you the drive,
Yeah, because it's easy to let yourself down.
Yeah.
Like you can let yourself off the hook. And I think we're used to like hating ourselves in a way too. Like we're used to being like, you piece of shit.
For sure.
So was photography your background before? Like, is that what kind of got you in with Quickie?
Yeah, I was working back in the day. I was shooting video stuff and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. And then one of the guys from Quiksilver came on my honeymoon actually, and I was just shooting photos while we were away. And I come back and he's like, hey, there's a marketing job at Quick. Do you want to come join the team? Based out of the Gold Coast. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, so I went and worked for them. It was like I think it was there like 9 years.
Yeah.
So it was good. Like, I learned a lot, and I learned a lot of things to do and a lot of things not to do,
Yeah. What was the lifestyle back then on like being around those dudes, and because I guess like the people, I guess people have to understand too, like our world changed. Everybody's world changed in 2008.
Yep.
When that financial crisis hit, there was money getting slung around up until that point, and then the bottom really fell out, and I think a lot of companies went like, "Fuck, we're not as invincible as we thought we are." And then like, look what happened to Quick now. Like they couldn't react quick enough to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it was around that time too, like you said, when like Instagram started, like the world changed in terms of consumerism,
for sure,
when Instagram started.
I think with Instagram you couldn't really lie, you know, like it was really reactive when it first started, you know. It was like taking shit on the fly. It was like that was the whole point. Instagram, you know what I mean? Now it's not so, you know, the fucking algorithms and everything are all over the show, and it's kind of a bit weird, but
yeah, I'm not a fan of the algorithm.
No, me neither. It's fucking stupid.
Especially sucks for sport. Like, I watch a lot of live sport. If I can't watch it, like especially the UFC stuff, like they post the video like the minute someone gets fucking hit. Yeah, and
you've got to go dig deep to like find that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just it fucks with you. But I was gonna say too, like we're in a weird spot now to where everyone's like a global consumer.
Yeah,
and I think that there was a point of time, and like it's really affected retail. Yeah. So like,
not massively.
Yeah, it's the world's completely different.
I wouldn't
now.
Open a store now if you paid me, dude. Like no
brick and mortar.
No way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Like someone asked me the other day, and I do like the concept, the thought of it. You know, having everything on display, people to come and try and all that stuff. But it's risky.
And have you ever looked at doing like pop-up shops and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. I just hate the whole pop-up thing. Like, if you're going to do it, I think you just want to build something that's so dope and that kind of really reflects the brand. Like something saying about the packaging, you know? Yeah. Kind of the whole temporary thing. I just don't like it. But it'd be awesome to do it with an optometrist and have a lab somewhere, or have something we can do everything.
You know what's like, I could kind of see Valley in the same vein of if you did do a store, was like Aesop. Have you ever seen their stores? Yeah. Like how they've got the whole like kind of sort of labby kind of thing.
It'd be sick.
Yeah, to where you guys could do that. And because, I mean, I don't know how many people would know what Carl Zeiss is. Yeah. But because we're from like a film world, like I understand Carl Zeiss. Yeah. And I think that what you could do with them in like a brick and mortar would be pretty rad too, in terms of like lens the actual optic style. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Was that your inspiration for using Carl Zeiss?
From the camera background, for sure. And then when you read into how good their lenses are, like even the CR39 lenses, they're like optically correct. Like you can buy lenses out of China or anywhere for like $1. Yeah. And call them whatever you want. But you get them out of Carl Zeiss, you know that it's come through their lab. The optics are so dope. Like, and you think like you're making sunglasses, like they're 100% UV, they're optically correct. Okay, tick, tick, tick. Carl Zeiss, bang. It's just a no-brainer.
Is that a set, like, and I guess too, like that's kind of bold on your part too, because I just don't think the consumer understands what Carl Zeiss is or what that goes. But I guess that's pretty rad on your end to be like, nah, fuck no, this is core. This is what I want. Like I've shot these, lenses. Like this is what our product should be. Yeah, because like you said, like you don't have to do that. People, I don't think the average person's gonna go like, oh wow, Valley has Carl Zeiss lenses, bang, selling point. Like I'm sure for some people it is.
Yeah, some people do. Like,
but for the majority,
photographers contact us and be like, Carl Zeiss, that's dope.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
But
that's not that's not the average consumer. So I think that
90% of our consumers would have no fucking idea what Carl Zeiss is.
But that's fucking badass on your behalf to still commit and be like.
Yeah, they just flew out here and saw us a couple of weeks ago, and went through the whole new range and everything. And like, their support for us is insane as well. As much as we like run their things, they do Carl's Optics by Carl Zeiss Vision, and then the Zeiss branded lenses, which are exactly the same but with little Z on them. Yep. Which would send our prices into the stratosphere. But so we kept the Carl Zeiss Vision sun lens, which is primo. Yeah. So they're just fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it's funny too, because like when we set this thing up, I just started seeing the fucking sunnies everywhere. Yeah. You ever get that when you like learn about a new thing or whatever? Yeah. And like obviously I've known about the brand for ages, but then when we finally set this thing up, I was like, fuck man, I've probably seen like 10 pairs in the last.
It's crazy. My kids like still get on the street and they're like, she's wearing Valleys. Yeah. Dashton's like, you to the like random people. I'm like, shush mate, don't say nothing. So yes, we still get excited seeing people in them for sure. Like we get stoked.
Yeah. And then especially like when you have like the kind of celebrities that just start running it, you're just like, that must be just such a like a full-on thing to see those kind of like A-list people, and they're actually buying it. It's like you guys aren't just giving them it, because you could be full whores and just be like, bam, influencer.
We don't use a PR company or anything. We just do it ourselves through relationships and friends. Like we supply the Ritz-Carlton in LA, downtown and in Marina Del Rey. Yeah, because Jamie Foxx was staying there, and he bought like 8 pairs. I guess his girlfriend's Katie Holmes chick. Oh. So she runs...
How long ago was this?
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So she's been papped like for the last couple of years in like a whole repertoire of valleys, and everyone's thinking like, fuck, Katie Holmes. I don't know Katie Holmes. It's just like Jamie Foxx bought her a bunch from the Ritz.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Have you seen he started his Prevost?
The cheap brand. Yeah. So maybe it was like a little R&D, then we flicked him to his bird, you know?
Yeah, maybe he just got inspiration from just seeing something that rad too.
That's cool, whatever. But it was pretty funny because my mate's the manager down at the Ritz, and he called me. He's like, Jamie Foxx just bought a bunch.
That's sick, eh? Yeah. And so do you go because you have some relationships with people now through the Sunnies, like Kat Von D.
Yeah, we're doing a thing with Kat next week in Melbourne for the Kat Von D beauty thing. Yeah, Kat and I are really good friends. She's tattooed me a bunch, and we've been friends for about 5 years now. Yeah, it's pretty funny because she was wearing knockoff valleys on Instagram, and I called her out.
Oh, really?
And I was like, "Hey, what's with wearing knockoffs of we're an independent brand? Like, what the hell, man?" She had no idea. She didn't know, and then. She jumped online and immediately bought like 5 pairs on the net, and I was just like, oh fuck, I didn't want her to do that. And so anyway, I just sent her a bunch as well, and I was like, hey, next time in LA, let's have dinner. And we caught up, had dinner, and we've just got on like a house on fire. So we've been mates for years. Like, she's fucking awesome.
That's rad.
She's getting married in a couple of months, or she got married, but she's having the proper wedding thing. And my wife and I heading over for a wedding and stuff. So
that's crazy. Yeah, man.
It's good.
It's I think that people don't really understand as well that in business, it's not really about, I mean, obviously it's about the business, but it's people invest in people. Yeah. And not just in terms of like an investor in a business or whatever, like financially, like, oh, we're going to give you this money. It's like, no, Kat Von D invests in you, not just the glasses. Yeah. So it's like, I think that anyone that's like trying to start a business or wants to be even just at your job, man, like the people, like I say to people, like, I'm not the best filmmaker at all. I just think
people can see your passion too, you know, and they trust you. If they trust you and they see your passion and you're on the same level, wavelengths with them, and you just connect, and it's like they can tell that you have genuine intentions, you know? You're not going to ever use and abuse anyone. You mean what you say. You come through and you're trustworthy, and you're doing unique stuff. You're gonna build relationships, you know. As long as if you're genuine, then fuck.
And awesome. I think too, just like the charisma, like people want to work with people they enjoy being around.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, like you get that relationship with Kat Von D could have ended at just you sending her the 5 sunnies that you paid for. But it's like it's that extra investment, and you're right. Then they can kind of see that you're, you know, in it for the right reasons and a cool person to be around with. Like that's when relationships start to grow. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people discount how important charisma and you know, like you said, just those good intentions is in business. Like it's so much more of business than what people think.
Those relationships can snowball too. Like a good example of that is I was at Kat's house in Hollywood, and we were shooting this Valley clip a few years ago. And
the piano one?
The piano one, yeah. So I shot it initially, we did it there, and I came back, did the edit, and I showed her first for her to approve it. She's like, dude, my piano playing's fucking out of whack. She's like, no, can we redo it? I'm like, fuck, we kind of need to... We can't. Anyway, so Slayer were recording down the street. She calls Kerry King from Slayer and is like, I need Andrew Stewart, your film dude, to come to my house and film this piano section for this Valley clip. So Kerry King and like Tom Array give fucking Stu the green light. Stu bolts up the road in Hollywood to Kat's house, reshoots the piano scene, fucking uploads it from the Slayer studio in Hollywood, and then I get it that day, and then the clip was redone. So I'm like, fuck, contact Stu, the video guy. I'm like, dude, let me send you some sunnies. Like, thank you so much. Yeah. And he's like, oh, do you want to print? Oh, like, I've got these shoots, sick band stuff, and he had this one sick one of Marilyn Manson with an army helmet on with an American flag draped over him. I was like, fuck, I want that. Yeah. And he's like, dude, he's one of my good friends. He's playing in Australia next week.
No shit.
So then I'm like, fuck, hooks me up, Marilyn Manson. So then that's how I met Manson.
Yeah, right.
And then Manson was coming to Brizzy. He's like, come to the show. So I went to Brizzy, took him some shades, but made him bunch of like custom tinted aviators.
Yeah.
Next minute, I'm on the side of the stage. Fucking Johnny Depp rolls out.
No shit.
Straps a guitar on, gets on stage and plays guitar.
Oh,
Beautiful
I remember
people.
that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw that.
Daily
show on
Mail
YouTube.
UK fucking used my photo and video shit on Daily Mail of Johnny Depp and Manson. I was the only person allowed on stage.
You're kidding.
It was fucking wild. Then I went to Soundwave with Manson the next day.
What year was? Well,
that
I went to that. I went to the Sydney Soundwave.
Yeah,
and
must have been
him.
what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah. How fucked up was he that day?
Oh,
that was pretty full on.
Yeah,
I was like, I was fucking front and center mosh pit because I froth Marilyn Manson. Like watching some of his like early 2000s interviews on like TV shows and where he just fucking owns people.
Oh yeah,
it's like some of my favorite shit. Like I rewatch that stuff all the time because he is so smart.
Oh, it's crazy.
And I love that his whole deal is like, you think I'm this dumb fucking redneck that's just making this goth screamo devil shit, and then he's like
so switched on.
Yeah, oh man, he is one of the smartest people in show business, and he changed it.
Yeah.
So I go back and rewatch that stuff all the time when I do my little YouTube rabbit holes.
I've been going up to last few times I've been in LA. He calls me and he's like, come up to the house. And he's like, just come by yourself. And I've been going up to his place at like, it's never before midnight.
Yeah, well, because apparently he's like does the vampire thing.
100%.
Like he doesn't.
He goes to bed
awake
at like 5 and sleeps all day. But like he's fucking so like his creativity it's insane, dude. Like he showed his art room in his house where he does his watercolors.
Yeah.
He fucking does them laying down and like on the floor. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And he's fucking just a
dude. How's this one? You'll like this. Fuck. My neighbors and I we've been working on this Manson Valley collab for a while. It's been in the process, and I designed these like double cross aviators. They're sick. And my neighbors, I got the protos before I went over to see. I flew over with the protos to show Manson, and my neighbors took photos on, and they're like, "Hey, can you take him a fork? We want a fork out of Manson's house." And I'm like, "What? A fucking fork?"
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I pack up his sunnies, chuck the fork in my bag, go to LA, roll up to Manson's house, and we're having a few drinks and stuff, and we're going through the sunnies and we're talking for a couple of hours, and I was like, oh fuck, I got this fork in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, here's a weird one. He's like, what? He's like, what the fuck? And I was like, hey, how's my neighbor? I showed him the photo. They want to fucking swap forks with you. And he's like, fork? And I said, mate, I don't know. I don't know why. And he goes, oh, she wants to play the fork game. So he yells his assistant, his there, Judd. He's like, Judd, go to my room, bring down the red box. And I was like, well, the red box.
Okay, it's getting heavier.
What the fuck is in the red box? So Judd goes upstairs to Manson's room, comes down with this red box, and he's like, MC, they want to play the fork game with Manson. I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay. Boom. Pops open this red box, pulls out a fork and goes, now there's a fork. It's a fucking Third Reich stamped Nazi soldier's fork. And he gives it back to me and goes, tell your fucking neighbours don't ever play the fork game with me again.
Really?
Yeah, I've got it at home.
What's the...
My neighbour's like, fuck no, I'm not taking that.
Really?
So he collects like Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah,
and so it's like to have cutlery that was stamped with the Third Reich stamp, it has to be from like hierarchy, like general or...
like
so
heavy
So he
shit.
paid a lot for this cutlery set. And he gave me a fork out of it to give to my neighbours. He's like, tell them don't play the fucking fork game again.
So what's the fork game?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, that's so sick.
Oh, it's mental. So my neighbour's like, I'm not taking a fucking Nazi fork.
Dude, that show where he was in Sydney. Were you at the Sydney one?
No, I was at the Brisbane one.
Oh, you were at the Brisbane one? So I was at the Sydney one.
Yep.
And I was just skitzing, like so pumped to see him live. Because the other thing, I don't think people respect how fucking good he is vocally.
Oh, he's
like
insane.
He is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, just another reason to enjoy that guy because of what he can pull off on stage.
Yeah.
And he was fucked up. Like I was just like, whoa. It was like. He was throwing the mic at roadies, and I was just like, I didn't know, dude. I didn't know how much of it
he
was
like
just
beats his band up when he plays with them.
Yeah, full on.
Like the drummer gets like his ass kicked. The drummer gets fucked up.
It's heavy,
it's crazy.
And
I felt bad for the guy.
How serious is he? Like, is he just a fucking, like, is that just part of it? Like, he just gets on stage and he's just consumed by that whole deal?
He's just into it.
Yeah.
That's his thing. And
Fucking
then, like,
sick.
it's sick, eh?
And then, like, you know what kind of pisses me off, though, is when people say, like, oh, he's a fucking idiot. Like, what is it? I'm like, bro,
Dude,
you don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
that's rock star shit.
Oh,
Rock star shit. You're supposed to do that. Like, yeah, Kanye West is a fucking idiot, but that's rock star shit.
Yeah,
and
true.
it's like, that pushes forward culture.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about that, but I think that people taking that much liberty and going so far out of the fucking box, it's like, they're the leaders and we're the sheep in a way.
Yeah, man.
And then they go so much further than we can, but it just lets us move that little. We take that step and that step and that step. And I think I think that is how these like rock stars and pop stars and these kind of iconic cultural figures.
Yeah.
I think that's how it moves us forward. Like they move forward massive and we think they're fucking batshit crazy. But then they also drag us just that little bit further.
Manson's so smart. Like, he knows who to partner himself with, whether it be photographers, filmmakers, directors, producers. You know, he's so all over everything. I think that's why I love so much about what he does and have so much respect for him, you know. And people who, when we post stuff about Manson, our consumer base is majority 70%, 80% women. They fucking probably hate him. And like I've had chicks saying, why isn't like that guy? But I think it's just me personally, on a creative level, he is a fucking genius.
Oh fuck yes, 100%.
It's crazy how good he is as far like in every element of what he does. It's like, I wouldn't even say it's like orchestrated or anything. It's just what he does.
Well, again, it comes back to like that whole connoisseur of cool thing. It's like he's not trying to follow a trend. That's like authentically him.
100% genuinely, mate. You fucking been in his house. I know it's how he lives. It's not like his house is like a fucking museum. And like that's
some Addams Family shit.
Yeah, man. That's how he lives, and it's legit. Like. You know, he lives the rock star life, and he is a rock star.
So he should. You know, but how rad is it that a guy that's so authentic and so true to what he's doing chooses to work with you?
Oh, it's fucking sick.
I think that's the ultimate in like props to a brand that is in a creative space the way that you are. I just showed him those clips the other night from Bosnia and Croatia and Serbia. I went up there last week. And Courtney Love was there actually. Really? As well in the lounge room. So she's seen the clips as well. And it was fucking wild. He called me and he's like, dude, because I was flying out the next day. He's like, come up. By the way, Courtney Love's here. Bring her a pair of sunnies. Fuck yeah. And so she was cool. Had a couple of fucking vodka sodas with her. And it's crazy like that whole 6 degrees of separation thing that gets going. And if you're on your shit, man, when an opportunity comes up like that, you just said with like the Johnny Depp thing on stage, it's like the people that you can kind of, and that's fucking Gypsy Tales right there. You know what I mean? Like that's how this whole deal works. That's when I said to you how I took that box of sunnies over to him when we did the collab. I took, there was 2 sizes, a large size and a small size, and there was like 20 pairs in each box. The small box went to Johnny Depp. No shit. That night, he left me at like 2, went to Johnny Depp's house, and then they posted a photo of them together with the glasses on. I was just like, fuck, this is dope. Yeah, that's heavy. Like, did you, like, you can't think like when you go into a business that's going to be the outcome. Nah. Like, some of the shit, I guess like the best shit is this stuff where it's like you can't even fucking dream that you're going to have these kind of relationships. Imagine if you had a PR company and you paid them to have a photo of Johnny Depp and Manson together wearing your frames. Like, fucking hell, they'd probably invoice you for like 100 G's. Yeah, full on, eh? Probably. It's crazy the whole... I don't think people understand the pull of those big PR companies. Because again, like talking to Jay, my mate that owns Asare, like they are constantly getting hit up by all these PR companies and stuff. And like they can, I will promise you this person, that. And you like, they fucking run shit, man. Yeah, those big ones. Big ones, yeah. You pay for it though. Dude, don't ya? Yep. It's sick though that you can, I guess, like create a brand that is just, it stands alone, you know? Yeah. Well, I think that's what we've tried to do is just, and even with like making these like short films and like these clips and going out of our way to do shoots like out of the norm, like going to like Joshua Tree, Bulgaria,
Western Australia to, Croatia, Bosnia and Serbia, places like that. Like, we could take the easy road, but we don't, because you want people to be like, what the fuck are these guys doing? You know what I mean? And just to get people's attention as well, and to also know that we're authentic. Like, we're not like this is what we do. And it's consistent. The message is consistent. The brand direction's consistent. The frames are consistent. And it's like, people, then they genuinely, if they love your brand, they trust you, I think that's when you've got longevity, not temporary. Yeah. Oh,
100%. Did you, what was the inspiration for the Bulgaria thing? Are you like a bit of a World War II junkie? Or
I kind of am, yeah.
Where did that whole thing come from?
I'm obsessed with the World War II, I love like all the Nazi shit, like not the Nazi stuff. I hate what they represented, but I just love like the architecture, like the bunkers and all like that. If you ever look at the Atlantic Wall between like France and England, where they built all those crazy bunkers and they snapped off the cliffs, and it's just the architecture of those structures. I just love it, dude. Like, it's nuts, but I do not like what they did by any means. Like, I think that's why when we went to this last trip to Bosnia, and that the whole point of it was like to show people what's over there, and to also pay respects to all the people that died at those things. Like, we were about to put a book together of a bit of history of each location we shot, because that one location I showed you, we drove in there, and because we researched them on the map, but we didn't go deep into what each structure meant. Until we were on the road, we were kind of going, okay, so this one's like, and they were saying it was a Nazi death camp where like 100 to 200,000 people were killed in mass graves, buried on site. And like, fuck, how can you fathom that? Like, how could you get?
It's like 2 Suncorp stadiums fucking dead.
Full of dead people. So I was just said, like, for us to raise awareness of these structures, what they represent in a respectful manner is like also pretty important, I think, to the rollout of this thing.
And I guess like giving it some light at the end of it, you know what I mean? Like, just like flipping the script on it, because it's beautiful in a way.
It's super
in a
beautiful.
Really in a kind of creepy, eerie, spooky way. Like, there is beauty in that. And I think like when you were there, was there like a heavy vibe to it? Because you can feel shit like that, eh?
When we drove into that one, it's called like the Flower Monument, which was the second one, which I showed you that drone shot pulled back. When we drove in there, we didn't know the real intensity of what happened, and everyone in the car was just like goosebumps, just like, what the fuck? And I was like, oi, dude, this doesn't. And we didn't spend long there. Everyone was like, well, let's get the fuck out. Like, it didn't feel like we should be there, you know? And it was kind of snowy but rainy and sloshy, and it was just fucking cold, and it was weird, man. But like that monument had the most impact on everyone. We knew that something had gone down there, and they had like a train there that was set in like on the side where they'd taken like all the prisoners of war, and they'd go from that monument up to Auschwitz in Germany. So that was like the third biggest Nazi death camp in Eastern Europe. So
fuck,
crazy.
It's crazy how like wiped a lot of that history is, because you'd think that something that big and that important would be like kind of common knowledge or something in a way.
It's kind of like it's not, you know.
It's not at all. I didn't know. I've been all over, and I've seen a lot of stuff, and I never knew that stuff existed. So it's like, it's crazy how. Dude, like, especially with Hitler, anything that's to do with Hitler, it's like, fucking don't talk about it, wipe it clean.
For sure. And that's
full on, eh?
People have even said to me like, whoa, how are you going to approach this? You know, like, this is kind of unfucking
taboo.
You can't go into this territory like being like, we're fashion in like, you know. But we're like, I think, you know, we're going in there respectfully with like the right intentions of raising awareness as well, but also, fuck, look how cool this is. This is dope. Like, the architecture and of these structures, and it's in the middle of the most beautiful places, just this random thing. It's like, what the fuck, man?
And then the vibe that's like attached to it. And it's kind of cool because, like, have you ever been to Stonehenge?
Nah.
So like, that was a place where I was like crazy excited to go to. And then we went there, and it was like, you'd get on a fucking bus, and then you got busted there, and then there's like roped off, and then everyone's taking selfies, and there's fucking selfie sticks in every corner. And I'm just like, man, this is a thing that like they don't know how this got there. This is like a legitimate modern mystery, wonder of the world, and I feel nothing there. And it's like, it was a real shame to be there and just fucking, it was just it was just a lion in a cage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know
what
what
a
I mean?
shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
Yeah.
And then, but when I saw that clip, that like you just texted to me and I watched it on my phone.
Yeah.
And like I felt fucking moved by it. Like it had like a heavy vibe to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess it's cool to then bring that light to where that did happen.
Yep.
It's got this eerie thing that's attached to it, and people get to see it. Like it's sort of a shame. Obviously, it's like a fucked up thing that happened there, but it's like that. There is like art and beauty in that. It's weirdness.
Crazy. Like if you tried to, like I don't know any prime minister or president in any country now that would fund the costings of building 60 structures to commemorate anything.
Yeah.
Especially no one in this country.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
they'll build fucking ridiculous Gold Coast signs, but how on the fucking highway, how bad is it?
They're awful. Someone needs to get shot who did those.
But you're right, like that architecture of, and I mean just European stuff, like have you been to the Cologne Cathedral in Cologne, Germany?
No.
It's like the biggest outside, like the Vatican's the biggest church of like, in terms of internal, but the Cologne Cathedral is like actually bigger on the outside.
Yep.
And it's like fucking crazy. Then there's a vibe, like you can really feel it.
There must be like crazy like dungeons underneath that thing.
Yeah, well, it's like that. I think the outer surface of it is like the biggest one in the world.
Yeah.
But like you look at that architecture and like it's weird that we don't have that kind of stuff, and like that's like true artistry too. Like, can you imagine all the people that like, because all of those, like even through like Rome is ridiculous.
It's crazy,
like I guess I mean, like when did it stop? But like that was slavery, I guess. You know what I mean? Like you can't fucking pay for that shit now. Like you can't afford it.
2 years to build structures, and then they just walk away from it. Like, oh, don't worry about it. Like that Bulgaria thing, that was the head of the Communist Party or the headquarters or whatever. And then it was been abandoned since like 1978 or something, and it's just sitting on top of that hill, just like overlooking everywhere, like all of that town there. You know, it's nuts. Just nothing there.
Yeah,
it's freaking crazy.
That's like what's the like Chernobyl? Have you seen like
we spoke about going to shoot there actually?
Yeah, that's the move, because people love that kind of shit. Like you'll get those people that will buy like the Charles Manson houses and stuff like that. And there's like people who do have an affinity with that kind of.
Yep. They like, those crazy places. Like, we went there like, fuck.
I wonder what that is.
Yeah. Just people like knowing that you've gone to the unknown places that they wouldn't go.
Yeah. And
how does it look?
I guess maybe there's a thing where like we all are going to die.
Yeah.
And it's like in your day-to-day life, you're trying to be as far away from death as you can be.
Yeah.
And then to go there that's like soaked in death.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a weird, like a weird feeling.
You know that one I showed you, the wing structure we went to that was in Bosnia. When we went there, there was a big landslide, and because we didn't have permits for anywhere, just rolled up and just shot. And the cops were down the bottom of the hill, and I was like, "Oh, can I drive the van up and park closer so we can shoot?" And he's like, "Yeah." Anyway, this lady comes up. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Are we just shooting?" And she's like, "Where's your permit?" I was like, "I don't have a permit." I didn't know we had to have a permit. Anyway, she takes us back. We pay for the permit, $300. Sweet.
Score.
And she's like, the hill slid away and there were bones hanging out of the dirt.
For real?
For real, yeah. I'm like, holy fuck. So we, that was like, she kind of got us around lunchtime. We was there shooting for a whole day, just that one spot. So we had like, I think 3 more hours to shoot. And I was like, stay away from the mud because it's like bones hanging out of it and shit.
Dude, have you like you would have been in like all those big cathedrals and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine this? Whenever I'm like in those kind of like cathedrals all through Italy and Europe, and that, like, I don't believe in God at all.
Yep.
But you feel something in there.
There's
like,
something going on.
It's full on, eh?
It's crazy.
And can you imagine 1,000 years ago when that shit was being built?
Yep.
And you're living in a straw hut, essentially, like some timber with some straw on the top, and you've got some goats and fucking sheep, and you like that world. And then that's the extent of like architecture that's attainable. And then you step into like those big cathedrals. It's like
crazy.
You could see why religion was so
trusted.
Yeah, trusted and like so widespread, because it's like that shit is like it's godly. Those structures are just so unattainable.
We went to Jerusalem last year.
Oh, really?
We have a distributor in Israel. He's a legend. And I went and stayed with him in Tel Aviv. And then he drove us out. We went to the Dead Sea, swimming in the Dead Sea.
Really?
It's nuts. And then we took us into Jerusalem. Fucking scariest place I've ever been, dude.
I was going to say, like, what was it actually?
Just felt like unsafe.
Vibe,
like
unstable.
Bad vibes. And he was telling us, like, he's like, I said, you know, like, what's going on? There wasn't many tourists around. And he asked, because he's Israeli. He asked the guys, and there was like a stabbing, like, I guess, like a Muslim, like, radicalist went and stabbed the guard right out front of a church, right where we went right into, like, right in the middle of Jerusalem, where it was, like, meant to be, like, the birth of Mary.
Yeah.
And, like, where Jesus, we went to the tomb where Jesus was apparently shackled and, like...
No shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Do you get the same vibey, like that same feeling when you're there that you are when you're in those big churches?
No, the vibe there was, like, almost like everyone was kind of on edge.
Yeah.
Like, because he said there's, like, so many... Because it's, like, they're so extreme. Like, you know, there's, like, the really crazy Christians, Catholics, Jewish, Muslims, you know, all the different religions that all have different beliefs.
And they've all got a stakehold.
This is the hub.
Yeah.
This is it. You know, so they're all so crazy about it. So I was like, mate, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I bet.
We did a quick little tour and just pieced.
But I've heard that Israel as a country is actually like a really rad country in terms of the people and stuff. And the women are beautiful. Like Israeli women are beautiful as well.
We stayed in Tel Aviv for like 5 days and we had the best time.
Yeah.
The people, the food, just like the beaches are amazing. Like it's really good. It's just like, you know, and people go, oh, Israel, that's a bit scary. No, it's fine. There's radicals everywhere, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But we didn't feel unsafe at all in Tel Aviv. It was great. Yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to do some travel through there. Yep. But it's got to be heavy. Oh, there's heavy spots for sure, like anywhere. Like I guess like that whole Palestinian thing. Yeah. And, no, that's going on right now. That's crazy. But I think if you try and, you know, fingers crossed, play the safe road. Yeah. Don't go too deep. You should be fine. Yeah, but I mean, I think there's kind of shit that goes on everywhere. Like, you know, even places I've been in the States and things like that. Like, walked into a bar in like Tennessee with an Asian friend. Yeah. And the people in the bar were like, get the fuck out of the bar. And I'm like, he's Asian. Yeah. Like, come on, he's Asian. That's crazy. Don't Asians in this day and age? For real, man. It was only a few years ago. That's fucking nuts. And then they just like wanted to fucking kill him. It was just super heavy. We were down in Mexico a few weeks ago on our way to a trade show. We just called in. We had a quick little vacay. Me and a mate were just having tacos in a back street in Mexico. And fuck, unsafe. Yeah. Definitely. But then you get some places in Mexico that people just like they froth it. So it's like... Yeah, this was Cabo. But we were like an hour out of Cabo. Yeah, okay. It's pretty sketchy. Well, I think that I actually haven't been to Mexico. It's like for all the years I've been in the States, I've never gone. But yeah, you hear nothing but like, it's like 50-50. Yeah. You know what I mean? You get some people that are like, I drive to Mexico every single weekend, dude. Yeah, like, I love TJ. Yeah, and then you get some people that are like, fuck that, I would never go there again. And like... But we had the best experience. We said the one night we were out, the guy's like, yeah, just follow the lights. We ended up in a back alleyway, pitch black, all dressed in black. Next minute, the federales come with a machine gun on the back. Everyone in balaclavas driving past us. I'm like, we're out of here. Yeah, fuck sketchy. And then... our sales agents in LA, we went back after New York, had lunch with them and stuff, and they're going, oh yeah, how's this story about our friend Mexico? And I was like, I can't even talk about it on here, it's so gnarly. And I was just like, fucking hell, man. Yeah. Like, a chick disappeared in a nightclub, found her, get taken over the border, had been killed, opened up, filled with drugs, sewn up. They tried to fucking take her over the border. Whoa. Yes. Like legit, like not even like we heard, it was like a friend's friend. Like... Oh, it's still gnarly. Eggy shit, eh? Yeah. That's like that was in TJ actually. Yeah, right. That's full on like that. So you can like jet ski basically from like San Diego to Tijuana. Yeah. And did they let you do that? No. I don't know, man. But there was something where a cop and his kid were like jet skiing around San Diego, like that kind of area really close to the border. I might be butchering the details of the story. But basically they like grabbed him and his kid on the jet ski, found out he was a cop, and then they decapitated him, and then they like made his kid ride back on the jet ski with like his dad's head or some like really fucking gnarly shit. You see? Full on, eh? It's still like the cartels down there still running shit. Obviously. You know how we fix that? Build a wall, apparently. No. You make cocaine legal. Yeah, there you go.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like they've decriminalized. Have you read about any of the stuff that Portugal's done?
Carbo's done it too. You can get
Really?
caught with like 5 grams of cocaine or heroin on you, and it's classed as like personal use.
Yep.
And I think you get like a fine or something. It's not like you don't go to jail.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Like that's how you stop drugs.
Yeah.
Like the reason there's a cartel is because drugs are illegal.
Yeah.
And they're supplies. It's some supply and demand.
Yeah.
Like you see with what they've done in Portugal, like the deaths. Have you watched any stuff on that? Dude, fucking get on YouTube when you find yourself wanting to do a bit of a rabbit hole thing and watch the docos on Portugal. Like they basically eliminated heroin overdoses. Like they were having a crazy
like epidemic or something.
Epidemic, man, of people overdosing on heroin. And then in 12 months it went down to basically zero
because they legalized it.
And then people like, so what they did is they took all of the money. Well, it's like 60% of the drug war money basically that they were spending on incarceration, policing, all that kind of shit, right? And then they didn't, so it's not legal. Like you can't sell heroin. You can't, like if you're a drug dealer, then it's still illegal. But it's not a felony to get caught using heroin or like basically any of those drugs, right? And so they took 60% of the budget that they were spending on fighting drugs, and then they put that into treatment programs, rehabilitation programs, and then safety. So, because a lot of the times these junkies are using like fucked up needles, and then and then like the stress that it puts on the healthcare system because people are going in, they're getting AIDS, they're getting like crazy sick, and then obviously like the people that don't. It's not fatal, and then they're going into hospital. So anyway, they took 60% of the money, and like, dude, 12 months time, like basically no overdoses, and then they like what happens. So like, if you get caught using heroin, right? So it's not a or any drug, it's not a criminal thing. You don't have to go to court, but what you do have to do is go to like an intervention. So there's a guy that is his job is to see every case in Lisbon, I think it is. So that's where that's where like the doco was around. But every like basically drug offense that came in on a user end, that would go to him, and then he would be like, "This is the best procedure." He'd adjudicate their case and be like, "Hey man, like you're a fucking hardcore drug addict. You need to go into a rehab center." Sweet. And then the government, they fund the rehab center and stuff like that. Get him back on track. And then they go from program to program, and then it's like, oh, this guy's a casual user. They'd like go, hey mate, here's a couple of pamphlets on heroin. Here's a couple of kind of procedural things if you're going to use it. We have these vans that drive around to like homeless sites and like kind of notorious junkie areas. And they're giving out clean needles. They're giving out like methadone and things like that. So it's just like completely changed it, right? Just flipped it. 100%. Yeah. And so we all know that people will do drugs. All the time. And like coffee's a drug. Like there's drugs in Coke. Like Coca-Cola. Like there's drugs in everything. People are gonna do drugs. And it's like you can't fight it in the way that they are now. It's not working. They've been doing it for years and nothing's gone down. Exactly. So it's like I think that you look at the big issues of like, okay, the cartel's a fucking massive issue. The murders, like the deaths associated with cartels is like how that's not a crazy crazy world, like a problem for humanity that everyone's like, man, look at these people that are just getting murdered. That's what I was saying last year. Like I was on, I think 9 like news or some like sent out a report whilst we were away saying the top 10 deadliest cities in the world. Number 1, Cabo San Lucas, 384 homicides last year related to drug use. It's crazy. It's homicide, more than one a day. Like that's just fucking out of control. Number 1 city in the world. And then it's all South American, like Venezuela and like, you know, so it's all like, it all leads back to one thing. And it's cocaine. And it's like the other problem with drugs or with cocaine is then you give it out to these dealers, and then these dealers get like a kilo of it, and then they try and turn that into 2 kilos. And then you're getting all this kind of fucking weird shit, janky shit in cocaine, and then that's causing issues for people. So it's like, okay, let's make it decriminalize it. So you obviously can't be a coke dealer. But now, just like you can buy weed from stores in LA that it's like pharmaceutical kind of grade, it's all grown with standards and it's like legitimate weed. And then you can go in, you can be like, okay, there's like an educational side of it. Yeah. People aren't getting as fucking cuckoo because they actually know what they're doing, no more homemade edibles that could have like 400 grams in it. But then you do that with coke, and then you go to a pharmacy, and then if you start like buying a lot of cocaine, then you go, hey, this is a potential issue. You know, flag people for treatment, flag people for help, and take away that income of the cartel. Like you take away the power. Just
it'd be crazy.
Completely chops them off at the knees. Yeah, and it's like people are still doing it.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, and
it's crazy too. Like as the end user, and this is how powerful it is. Like if you knew that the rack that you were doing has killed fucking thousands of people, like you'd still do it. It's like, you know how bad that, like the back end, like all of the crazy shit it took to get that cocaine. Like
it's fucking
to you,
crazy, man.
It's eggy as fuck. Like but people, that's how powerful it is. Yeah. And people still want to do it. So it's like, with all that aside, you think some laws and, I guess we're ranting now about it. But yeah, it's like, take that away, man. And then, because like, I always look at Mexico, man, and every time I'm like down in San Diego and you just see that peninsula still just going, you're just like, fuck, it is beautiful. Yeah. The beaches, the waves.
Isn't it weird how just they have the one fence that can just change dramatically, you know? The same land, the same soil. Dude, just different direction, different governments.
Yeah, and just a line in the sand. Yeah, and it's fully like only because of a fence. If that fence wasn't there, it's the same place.
Exactly.
And have you ever drove through like El Paso, Texas?
Nah, I haven't.
Dude, you got to do that.
I know. I'd love to.
Yeah, I went to jail in El Paso, Texas.
Really?
Border patrol. Yeah.
Oh fuck! What for?
They thought our van was stolen.
Okay.
So.
Oh fuck!
I'm like driving this van, dude, at 1 o'clock in the morning. We left California at 10 in the morning. Yep. Then 1 in the morning. It was like full hot. California sunshine when we left, and then we drove and we got to El Paso and they did the border security thing. Yeah. And they like kind of opened everything up. And that was just like fucking packed because we were going to a motocross race. Yeah. So they were like, "Who's all these bikes?" And we're like, "Oh, they're ours." Like, we're going to a motocross race. Then they're like, "Oh, we're going to just check that," because it looked like we just stole everyone's shit out of a house. Yeah. And so then they're like, we're gonna run the plates, and then it was like the guy Tyler, it was his stepdad's car. Yep. Or like the registration and insurance was in his stepdad's name, so it doesn't match his last name. He's like, "Oh, it's my stepdad." So anyway, they pulled us all inside. Oh, fuck. They like fucking legit. So then my passport was in the back, right? So I'm driving and I'm in like a singlet, and I get there and wind the window down. 1 in the morning, it's fucking freezing cold, dude. It's like 0. Yeah. And so I'm like shivering because because
it's so cold.
And I'm in a singlet. And he's like, "Turn the car off." I had the heater going. He's like, "No, turn the car off." And then he's like, "Where's your passport, or where's your license?" I was like, "I don't have a Texas license. Like, I'm Australian. I'm just here on holidays." Yeah. And he's like, "Where's your passport?" So I like went to undo my seatbelt, and he's just freaked out. Ripped the door open, ripped me out of the car, face on the ground, like fucking boot on the back of the neck, the whole deal, dude. Just like they just went Mach 10 on me, like crazy. And I just fucking lit up. I was like, "Oh, no," like screaming at him because I was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Like, smash my face. So I anyway, that comes down. I'm in handcuffs at this point, and then they ripped my shirt to where like I only had one thing on, so I was even colder. So then they're like, "Oh, well, we need to see your passport." And I was like, "Damn, I'm in trouble here." Like, just for the way that I reacted, and you know what I mean?
It's in the back.
Yeah. And so I was like, "It's in the back." And there was just like 3 motorcycles, a scooter, like a moped, gear bags everywhere. Luckily my gear bag was right there. So he wouldn't even take the cuffs off to let me get my bag out. Oh, fuck. So I'm like got cuffs behind my back, and I'm like trying to open the door with my hands behind my back, pop it out, and then I open it up, and Kevin Windham had just signed a jersey for me for my dad, and it was like folded flat on the top. And
nice.
He's like, "Oh, how'd you get a Kevin Windham jersey?" Like this guy. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, Kevin Windham." And I was just being a fucking dick at this point. And so he was just so off me. And I thought he was going to steal it. But anyway, like I got my passport out, and then we spent like 5 or 6 hours in this
the
cell, dude, and it was full of Mexicans that had jumped the border.
Yeah,
and like, dude, so you parked at border control.
Yep.
And 300-400 meters away is the fence.
Yep.
And fucking tents, fires, dogs howling, like gunshots. It is full on, man. It looks like a scene from Chappie or something. Like, it's so heavy.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just stayed in there for like hours, man. And it was just, full of these big gnarly Mexicans.
And then they let you go in the end.
Yeah, they let us go in the end. Obviously, like, everything checked out.
Yeah.
But like, that flagged my passport. I got detained the next time I went into the US. I had to go to court to like, because they wanted to say that I was arrested.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't get arrested, dude. I was at border control.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, your passport's been flagged. Because, you know, when you go into the States on a ESTA,
yep.
you got to say, like, it says, have you ever been arrested or whatever?
Yeah.
So they brought me in the
for
very
saying that
next
you hadn't
time
been arrested.
for lying. Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, man, I've never been arrested. And so then they take me in, and it was like hours in there as well. And they have you ever been in like that? Yeah. And they fuck with you so hard.
They ripped all my bags out there when I was heading there last time on my own.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I had so many sunnies in my bag, like about 80 or 90 pairs.
How'd you explain that away?
I just went, mate, the samples.
Yeah.
And like, well, they were samples anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're not for resale. And they're like, you know, I had to pull out my laptop, show them how much I paid for samples. It's like, just a shit process. And import duty on sunnies is 3% anyway. Like, so what? You want to pay $3?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's really worth holding me for 4 hours for.
And like, look at the Instagram. That's Johnny Depp. That's Marilyn. You know what I mean? Like, you could easily kind of explain it away.
Yeah.
They just like want to catch you out too. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went in there and I was like, look, dude, this is what happened. Like, I'll tell you, because I was in there for like an hour before it even clicked that's what they were talking about. And I just kept saying, so I was blue in the face. I'm like, man, I can't say this anymore. Like, I've never been in any trouble here.
Yep.
I was like, I've never been arrested. I said, I've never been arrested in my life in general. And they were like, man, look at this. And they're showing me the screen and it's saying detain. And then I saw El Paso when he turns the screen. And I was like, oh, El Paso. And I was like, yeah, I didn't get arrested. And he's like, well, mate, like it says here. And so they actually had to call. I was like, dude, call them. I was like, I don't know if that works, but like, just call them. And then the guy that arrested me was working.
Yep.
And I was like,
how lucky is that shit?
And I said, tell him that I was the dude with the Kevin Windham jersey and just see if anyone bites.
Yep.
And the fucking guy that pulled me out of the car is like, you know what? I remember that. And then he's like, was he arrested? And he's like, nah, the dude was an asshole, but we didn't arrest him.
Yeah.
And it turns out that I ended up having to go to court to get it off my record because they did class it as an arrest on my record there.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I had to fully go to court and prove that I didn't get arrested. But what the technicality of it all is that they didn't read me my Miranda rights.
Oh.
So like, you technically can't get arrested.
If they haven't read you your rights.
No, they didn't read me any rights. They just chucked me in the cell with my mates.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was so heavy, just like a complete nothing situation. Just turned into like, it cost me thousands of dollars, dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it is worth doing that drive to see.
Now you're just kind of scaring me off going that fucking drive.
Boy, it's fucking, Texas is no joke, man. Texas, they basically aren't even like the United States. They're Texas.
Just crazy.
Yeah, they're Texas. It's their own thing.
That's wild, eh?
Yeah, it's full on. But then Texans. You go to like, have you ever been to Austin? Nah. That's like one of the raddest cities on planet Earth. 100%.
I want to go.
That's like
West by Southwest or something would be sick.
Yeah. That, I think that's happening like or has it already happened?
I think
maybe it just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there's what's the name of the road? There's a street there. I'm blanking on the street name.
Yeah.
But it's just bars, man. Just hundreds and hundreds of bars. And they shut the street down at like Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at a certain time. It's just street meat. They got like the dudes that doing the crazy big barbecues.
So good.
Yeah, and it's like old school Texas, but really new school in terms of like a party atmosphere.
Sick.
And yeah, it's a super cool town.
Yeah,
so
that'd be fun.
We go to the MotoGP there.
Yep.
So yeah, you go there and the town just fully comes alive. But South by Southwest would be... Maybe you do a pop-up shop there, mate.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But yeah, like...
That would be fun.
Texas just is its own deal.
Yeah, I need to go check it out.
Yeah. Where have you been in the States? Have you done a lot of traveling?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time just obviously around LA, in the desert, in Joshua Tree.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Palm Springs, yeah, I love it out there. Like, got a bunch of mates in musos that live out. One of them's got a recording studio out there.
Yeah, right.
Called Rancho Della Luna.
Yeah.
And his name's Dave Catching. He's in Eagles of Death Metal.
Oh, right.
So it's like an analog studio. They do like Queens of the Stone Age, and they just recorded that Iggy Pop album, Post Pop Depression, with Josh Homme and the guy from Arctic Monkeys and stuff. So it's all done analog, old school, in this little house, and the roof's like 7 feet because it's so hot. You know, their roofs are so low there, and so there's like, it's a 1-bedroom house, and they've turned into an analog studio.
I've watched a doco on that.
Yeah.
There was...
was it a Foo Fighters one, maybe?
Yeah. Was it the Dave Grohl? Yeah, I think it was the Dave Grohl Sound City. Sound City, I'm pretty sure, is the name of the doco.
Yeah.
And, oh, fuck. I want to get that right. I'll post a link to it or something.
Yeah.
if I'm wrong.
That's dope, that thing.
Yeah.
And he buys that sound desk.
Yeah, the Nerve Board or whatever it's called. Yeah.
And it's like, it's analog too. But yeah, Dave's it's the whole thing's all done on the analog. They used to do like the desert sessions out there, and
because the dude from Queens of the Stone Age was born in Palm Springs, wasn't he?
Josh Homme, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's who you talk. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dave Catching is the guy from Eagles. He's got a huge, long, big white beard.
Yeah.
He's records PJ Harvey, Arctic Monkeys, everyone out in this little house. It's fucking rad.
Have you been out there?
Yeah, I've been there a bunch.
Fuck
and there's like a little bar out there called Pappy and Harriet's.
Yep.
It's in Pioneer Town, which is like a little Western film set.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's so trippy how they have that like random shit out there.
It's sick out there.
Yeah, Palm Springs is a like, what's the town that's near, like, closest to Joshua Tree?
59 Palms, is it? Is it 59 Palms? 29 Palms?
Because there's that. It's like, to get into Palm Springs is like, what, half an hour out of Joshua Tree?
Yeah, yes. The highway like splits off. You go up to the hills, and Palm Springs is to the right.
Yeah,
and there's like Indio.
Yep.
Is at the back, and there's like Coachella Valley and all that. You know, so that's kind of to the right. And then up at the top is like, Morongo.
Yep.
Get through Morongo and then up into Joshua Tree. That whole, like, it's trippy though.
It's weird, man. That little town that like is right where the national park entrance is.
Yep.
We stayed there once, and just like getting food and stuff. Like, you went out at night, it was just a fucking weird little vibe.
There's nothing there. Like, there's a couple.
And the people that decide to live out there,
mate, because you could used to buy. I think not too long ago, you could buy a block of land for like 30 or 40 grand. So people would just build these like shanties out there, all these crazy little houses, and it's
super
before
eccentric.
It became trendy, you know. Like, then all the LA crew started buying houses out there, and prices rose. But there's some different humans out there.
For sure, there is, man. And it's like,
we went out there in October for that Desert Days festival.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking trippy, that thing.
What kind of vibe is that?
It was just like all kind of like psychedelic-y kind of bands. Like Iggy Pop played, which was cool, and Eagles of Death Metal played. And we just went out there for a few days with the boys. We rented like a 45-foot RV bus thing. And we went. It was sick.
Have you got any intentions of doing Burning Man at some point?
I don't know. I think I'd die.
Yeah, it'd be pretty full on.
Hectic.
I think Burning Man we're probably 3 years late.
Yeah,
on Burning Man,
it's kind of become like,
it's Coachella now.
It is, yeah.
Isn't it funny how things like that get eaten up?
Yeah,
because Coachella before, I
hated Coachella, man.
Yeah, you didn't like it. I've got friends I've never been, but I got friends that said the same thing.
It's just weird. You got to walk so far into this thing, and if you want to go and have drinks, you got to drink in a beer tent. You can't like grab a beer and go watch a band. And I feel like, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I don't know. It's just like a big scene.
Yeah, and it's all for Instagram now.
It is,
and like you get I've got friends that are over there, like girlfriends that'll do the full thing, man. Like every day is a different outfit, and then like the modeling agencies that all these models are contracted with will rent a house, and all the model girls go to the house, and then they all have their outfits, and they all have their hair and makeup chick and the photographers, and it's the whole week is about like creating it's not about the music or the festival or the art behind it anymore,
and the content that comes out of this shit anyway.
Yeah, it's all the same shit. It's those people that are
boho
jumping on trend
bullshit, like, oh, yuck.
And I think unfortunately Burning Man is the
becoming
next
that
Coachella. It's like I don't know. What do you call that shit? Like when it just gets eaten up by fucking... Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know, man. It's like a flock of seagulls to a big bag of fucking hot chips to me.
Yeah, and I feel like they've just finished the Coachella chips.
Yeah.
And now they're going to the Burning Man chips.
Yep.
And one of my friends, she went to Burning Man like maybe 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I've just never been in town.
Yeah,
like I've always been away working.
You got to be really
like
dedicated, huh? You got to like take all your shit with you.
Yeah, and I couldn't plan to do it, and it just didn't work out. And every year it's kind of bummed me out that I haven't been able to go.
Yeah,
but I called her after it, and I was like, "Oh, how was it?"
Yeah,
and she was like, "Oh, it was fucking crazy. Like I was scared the whole time because she doesn't do any drugs. She doesn't do any like she's not in that world of like what the people are that like the reason that started. And it's like you go to see that, you go to feel whatever the fuck is going on with all of those people.
I heard some wild stories about that place.
Man, me too. Like heavy shit.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
they have a dedicated orgy tent.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like and you can't. So like. You can't go in there as a dude just by yourself.
Nah, you got to go in there with a chick that you're willing to share.
Yeah, it's full on.
That's hectic.
And there's just like, and it's 24/7. It doesn't close. It doesn't, like, there's no rules there.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't take any money.
Yeah. You make drinks. You got to share stuff. You got to share food, share drugs, share booze, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's like, imagine how much you'd want to have a shower. I'm just not a camper. I don't camp.
Yeah, I love that shit. We grew up camping.
I hate camping.
What's cool about it too is like celebs can go there, and because it's all so like heavily costume based, you can
disappear.
You can disappear, but then I feel like everyone gets so fucked up to the point that like they don't care that they're with Leonardo DiCaprio anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like then you get those guys that can actually just be amongst like the freaks.
Yeah, and just blend, you know.
Yeah, but that's I feel like the seagulls are attacking Burning Man too. So I wonder what the next the next one is, and then you maybe jump on that bandwagon.
Fuck, crazy.
Because have you seen the Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah.
You know what's their festival that they do? Have you ever seen YouTube videos of that shit?
No, I haven't seen it.
Whoa, that's another one that. Fuck. Oh, what's the name of that festival? I might have to Google it.
Yeah, fuck. That's crazy.
Do you know? Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't heard of it. No.
Okay, I need to Google it. Sorry, guys. We'll edit this a little bit. What the fuck is it called?
Don't the guys from Slipknot do one as well?
Yeah, they do Knotfest.
Yeah,
but that's like a legitimate festival.
Yep.
This is like, what's it called? Sorry, dude.
Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, that's.
I haven't heard of those guys for years, dude.
And they're the Juggalo Gathering of the Juggalos.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, bro. All right, so we're just gonna. We don't normally do it like this, but we're just gonna.
I need to see this.
Like this is what people do in it. I'll like put some shit of this up on the screen, but like they just do this random festival, man, like out in the fucking middle of nowhere, and all these people. Like
a costume, like theatrically kind of just like no fucks given festival.
Yeah, and there's like the fucking crazy weird sex that goes down, and like it's just this no rules thing, and like super heavy druggy, and it's just in a field in like.
I feel like that's just like a meth fest.
Yeah, like it full on, man. It's like a super heavy deal, but they've been doing it for years. But their fans are called Juggalos.
Really?
Yeah, and they have like, man, there's some crazy shit on YouTube for anybody that's listening.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, like super heavy, but they have like this hardcore fan base, eh?
That's crazy. I saw like on the plane when I was coming back on like the Vice channel about like how they have that they mix that drink shit. You know, it's like all like codeine.
Oh,
and
yeah, lean.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah,
full on, eh?
Crazy, man. Middle America, just madness.
Yeah, and then the Oxycontin epidemic out there, and you know what's
Hawaii's got a crazy Oxycontin epidemic.
Yeah, and meth's real bad there too. Apparently.
Yeah.
What was I going to say about that? Well, I think that stuff stems from what we're talking about too, with like the whole illegal drugs thing. Yeah. And then like the problem is that they're prescribing so many thousand of these Oxycontins and have you ever taken an Oxycontin or anything like that?
Yeah, it's fucked.
Full on, eh?
Hectic.
Like, so I took an Oxycontin because I had I blew my knee out when before I went over there the last time, and I was on endone here. And that's like an opiate based thing, right?
Yep.
So then I was like, oh, it's endone. Our version of Oxycontin is endone. So then like my knee was fucked after the flight, and I'd like had to go get my leg up.
It's crazy.
Took an Oxycontin, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, how is this able to be prescribed to people? Like, it was legitimately felt like morphine, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're prescribing like them by the fucking shit ton.
Because the doctors there are getting kickbacks and like massive all that kickbacks. Shit. Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
And then the problem is like how
synthetic heroin, right?
It's just an opiate. Yeah, like it's just full.
It's crazy,
and it's not even like coming from the poppies, like you said. It's like synthetic stuff.
Yeah,
but the addiction that comes as a result of being on those kind of painkillers.
Yeah,
and then when the prescription runs out, but you're fucked and you're hooked on those things, what do you have to turn to?
Yeah, meth
and heroin.
Yeah.
So it's like they're creating these, and then you do that, and then you go into the cycle of addiction, and you either die or you go to jail.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, but that's like created by
the doctors.
Yeah, this
prescribing.
And again, the doctors are just sitting back in there.
You can kind of see why here in Oz that my buddy's a pharmacist. He owns like a whole bunch of pharmacies here, and he's like, it's so hard for doctors to multi-prescribe someone drugs. They get really looked at like with a fine-tooth comb, and they're under the microscope if you try and prescribe like Xanax or stuff here. I think it's fucking great. Like, you know, if you have a bunch of zombies walking around town, that's going to suck for my kids and for yours and anybody else's, you know?
Yeah, and we don't have like a culture around it.
No, which is great.
Yeah, and I find it really strange when I listen to like, what music do you listen? Are you like kind of a metal dude?
Yeah, kind of like all kinds, metal, like whatever, you know?
Are you into like the modern rap, trappy kind of stuff?
No, not really.
So like I started
to listen to a bit of it, you know, after I watched some like docos on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it kind of annoyed me initially.
Yeah.
And now I'm
I'm the exact same.
Know? And the other day I downloaded one. I forget what it was. It's on I'll do it to my phone on. But I downloaded it, and I've kind of been trying to listen to it. And it's all right, but like...
You can't deny the vibe.
Yeah, it gets you. Like, it's catchy, and it's like, you know, it's good, but I don't hate it, but like I said, it annoyed me at the start.
Yeah, I want to hate it, but it's like to me, it's like trashy TV.
Yeah.
To me, it's like watching Bachelor in Paradise. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, this is fucked, but I'm in.
Shit.
But it's crazy to me.
Married at First Sight, mate. That was you, wasn't it?
No, I couldn't do that one.
My chick loved that shit.
Really? Dude, I'm fully in Bachelor in Paradise though.
Ah, yeah.
Because I watched it in the States.
Yeah.
And then
the Aussie one?
Yeah, so the Aussie one's just...
I know the chick on that.
Which one?
Tara?
Yeah, okay, because she's from the Goldie.
She's from Burley, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's actually the coolest one on the show.
Oh, okay.
And she's like hooked up with a dude now. And like,
yeah. She just lives down the road.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
She's a friend's sister, yeah.
She's actually the best one on the show.
She's a cool chick, yeah.
Yeah, it comes across.
Yeah.
Because like, so Davina from, would you know? Davina? Well, like, fuck, man. Like her going on that show. It's so crazy to me that, what you're doing when you go on that show is like you want to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Like you know no one's going on Married at First Sight to like fucking stay married.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And so the first thing she says I watched the clip that someone sent me, obviously because like we know her, and to be fair, the people that I know that know her say she's a very nice person.
Yeah.
And I've met her. I didn't get that impression, but
yeah, that's funny.
When you meet someone, that's not a judgment call, and I definitely don't do a podcast to blow people out.
Yeah, no.
But the first thing she says is like, "Hi, I'm Davina. I've got five businesses and 200,000 followers." And I'm like, ding, 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 fucking 5 million red flags just going off for anybody that wants to date you, because that's the first thing that come out of your mouth.
I have 5 businesses and 200,000 followers.
Like legitimately, that was the line.
Imagine that was some chick's kind of like introduction to you in a bar and you're trying to pick her up. You just fucking run to the hills.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, ding, 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 see ya.
Oh,
and it's like to say that on TV, and then it's not even that.
Isn't that a ballsy thing to say?
It's a fucking weird thing to say. That's like full-blown narcissism.
Oh, that's what I mean. Ballsy. Like, fucking people are going to instantly hate you in this country.
Yeah, and it's like when then you just so like what gets, even if you are a good person,
Yeah.
and the producer just wants to make like
They can edit you to be an absolute flogger as well, you know.
even if you are cool.
Yeah,
and it's
for
like
sure.
and that whole thing with like, I didn't actually watch any of the season, but like people saying that like they brought her back and all that, like they wanted to create. So like I watched the first year of it.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was actually like a legitimate thing.
Yeah.
But now it's like a reality. They're like doing it to be like the reality TV thing. But I was just like, man, there's no good outcome to be the heel on a show like that.
No, it's never panned out well for anyone, right?
No, and
not that I can even think of.
And she's not young enough for when all this calms down to still be relevant.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like she's relevant right now, and she's like getting up. She's like hated right now on a mass thing. And again, she's not a bad person, but in terms of like public perception.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
it's like you're kind of going on there to capitalize on you being relevant. And in this market, like it's heavy for chicks to get into that Instagram sort of cycle where like their business revolves around their looks. Yeah. Because it's like it fades quick.
Do you think people really care that much that they do buy those products that those chicks pump forward?
I think it's gross, man. Like,
yeah, totally.
And I think that
we get hit up every day.
I was going to say, you guys, it seems to me that you don't do any of the influencer stuff.
No, we don't.
That's so fucking good.
We don't.
Because the whole,
we don't pay anyone to wear our stuff.
Yeah.
And like, there is a thing where it's called like you can do a program, it's called like share a sale, and they can get like a kickback or something. But anyway, we're not even on that thing. And I signed up for a little bit, didn't even use it. But I don't know, because I don't look after influencers. I don't believe in it. They shoot photos of your brand, and you know their photos are going to suck. Yeah. Why would you do it?
Or like, dude, especially in like, you would have seen this. You walk on La Brea or you know, you get like what's that pink building, that pink cafe or whatever, the restaurant, and like,
is it Earth Cafe or something? No.
Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but like every time I ride past that, there's a different chick, or like sometimes there's posing like a lineup of chicks posing. So it's like, what are you really getting? Yeah. And like those chicks are probably wearing something. Yeah. And then say it goes out, might go out to 200,000 followers, but like, what's the odds that any one of those influencers are actually doing anything creative? Like the value that you're getting is like, you're going to fucking Bulgaria to an old Nazi compound, and then it's like that catches people's eye.
Yeah, it catches their attention for sure. Like I said, and
because I haven't seen it 1,000 times.
Yep. And you show them something new, and like I said, consistency, you know? Yeah. Something different. Like, fuck, what are you going to do next? That's the best bit. Yeah. But like, people get our stuff, and we're like, this one chick in the US, her name's Amanda or something. She's on a TV show, don't know. She bought a pair of our shades as well and posted it on the net. And we noticed a big influx in the online sales. So I guess to a certain degree, it works. But then other ones, it won't. Like, you know, Hemsworth will get post in our stuff and tag us in, and you won't sell a thing. So you just don't really know.
How are you pretty close with him now out of it all as well?
Yeah, we've been friends before. Like when I was at Quiksilver.
He's a crazy surfer.
Yeah, he rips.
Yeah.
I towed him in at Crawley like about a month ago before I went to the US with waves of cooking. And I know he'd done step-offs with another buddy of mine, but I actually got him behind the rope and towed him into a couple at the alley. Fuck. It's pretty sick. Like he can hold his own.
He rips that.
Yeah, he rips.
Yeah. Yeah. How connected are you still to surf? Because I've been thinking about this lately. Yeah. And I guess I'll like to backtrack a bit. Yeah. So with the podcast, I'm at the point now where I'm like trying to get sponsors and actually monetize it. And I've had offers for like a lot of stuff. Yeah. And a lot of it's stuff that I just like wouldn't use, or like it's products that aren't like relevant, and it's like subscription things to like tech. And you're just like, well, none of that is me.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's like it's so easy now as a consumer of products to see through shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think like back in the day, advertising was so good. Yeah. And that is so effective. Yep. And it's like it got to this point where we got really used to being marketed to in a way. Yeah. And then you start to become, it's like you develop a sense of advertising. Yeah. And we just got advertised to so much that now it's like we can see through the shit. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, fuck, like I don't feel comfortable
Yeah.
like doing this because I can see through that bullshit every single time I see that, like that influencer kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like high smile, $50 million.
Yeah.
Influencer marketing. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
So like, fuck it. It does work, but
it
it's
works,
like, what's the cost of the brand?
That's kind of where my headspace is at with it all. Like, you know, like I said, some may be effective, some may not, but it's like, you just don't, you know, you send an influencer and stuff, like you said, she could shoot the cheesiest shit that is everything you are completely against.
Yeah.
And then it's on the net and you're tagged in on it and you've got an association with that. Like, I'm not willing to take that risk.
Yeah, that's true, eh?
Yeah.
And I guess it comes back to that thing of like, you put your finger up in the wind and then you're just trying to like follow the trend instead of like creating the visuals that you want to have.
I think it's so important if you go to so much effort to create amazing visuals, and to have someone like that potentially damage it. Like, no fucking way I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Like, because like you said, there's probably a fucking lot of sales out there.
Yeah, probably, but don't really care.
Exactly. Isn't it funny though that how different success is to different people?
Yeah,
like
for
your
sure.
idea of success, obviously it doesn't have a dollar sign attached to it.
No.
Whereas like I look at those high smile dudes, and again, that's not a bad thing about them, but it's always like 50 million in revenue, this million, and it's like, oh, but what's the mission? Is that the mission? Because it seems like that's the forefront of like everything they say.
And I think though too, like for us, if we grew any faster, we couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
because we're self-funded.
Yeah.
You know, if we've grown at like 30% plus year on year, and we're into the millions in turnover in revenue.
That's expensive.
It's an expensive exercise to run. You know, like we've got what have we got now, like 10 or 12 staff or something in warehouse, office space, and all that stuff. And we did trade shows overseas. And for you to go any bigger, any quicker, I think you would, you know, quicker the rise, the quicker the fall. You know.
Yeah.
If you gradually build up a business with lots of depth, backbone, restructure, and make your program better, you'll be around longer.
Yeah.
And you'll do a better job of it, you know?
But what's your underlying idea of success? Because lately I've been thinking more about, I guess in terms of like the big picture, it's like, why do you work?
Yeah.
You work to get money to then live.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it gets skewed to the point where you're a slave to your... like the job, to where then it kind of inhibits your lifestyle, and then you changed from going for like, make money to then live, and then it's like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna make heaps of money and save, so when I'm done working, I'll have my fun. And it's like that mentality.
See, I don't do it that way.
I can't do it that way.
I was running like a whole bunch of stuff through, you know, in the business of areas of like shipping and freight, like doing all that stuff and just bullshit. I just put an operations manager on when I got back from the States to do all that. So all I do now is marketing and design sunnies, and that is it.
And how much better is your life?
Oh, so much better. But that's the best thing about, you said the success is like, to me, the success of Valley is like the lifestyle it provides for me and my family, my kids. And like, I get to do whatever the fuck I want
every day.
Every day, I can do whatever I want. If I want, I don't have to go to work for the next 3 weeks. I can sit at home and do it from home, but still do the same job.
Yeah,
I don't have to go to the office if I don't want to, but I want to.
Yeah,
you know, like I choose to go there because I like it.
Yeah,
it's like my space, and it's like it's a good environment to be in with good people. So you kind of, the success is like, yeah, sure, I want to make money. Who doesn't? That's why we're in business, but
again, the money is only to provide the lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. And just as long as it I'm not going to do anything that would jeopardize everything we've worked hard at to keep this brand how I want it to be, you know, by just like, you know, we could make servo sunnies for $50 and fucking sell shitloads of them.
Yeah.
Hell no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's when you just attach, when I think it's a process of like knowing the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, and then attaching a dollar amount to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, I always think about it in terms of, and I think about this on like a personal level of, so everything you do in life is like a tax or a credit. I try and break it down to those two categories, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So it's like, there's shit like you said, like shipping and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's stuff that I don't like doing. And even on the video side, when I'm in like video production mode, I don't like editing. I don't like any of the stuff where it's like delivering the video.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a long time to figure that out, and like a lot of stubborn ego stuff that I had to go through to be like...
That's common though.
Yeah.
It happens for everybody, I think.
It does. And like probably a lot of the stuff where you want to do the things that you're doing that you're not necessarily good at is like kind of ego driven in a way, because you want to be like... You want to take it upon yourself to be the leader.
You want to be in control of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I always say, like, it's a lot easier to let yourself down.
Yeah.
Than have someone else let you down. Yeah. Especially if you like that person and you don't want to be mad at that person. Yeah. But so I guess I just have this like tax credit. And then I kind of run on this theory of like, so if you go to say like you want to surf, or like that's a credit. And then you just like surf. And you get like, every time you do an activity that credits your life, you get $20 worth of this like life credit. Yeah. So it's like $20. So then if you do anything, whether you can get so far in debt with activities that you don't want to do. So like, let's say a job you hate. Yep. You're there for 8 hours a day. That's like constant tax every day. Yep. And then the offset that you have to do, the activities you have to do to offset that to get your bank balance back to zero, like get your soul meter leveled out again. There you go. Then you're like, you're fucking deep in debt. Yep. And it's just like a credit card debt. When you're not making enough money to pay off these debts that you're accruing, like your life fucking sucks. Yeah, for sure. And then you get into a point where you're like, well, I'm never going to get out of this. Yep. So you just accept the debt. Yep. And I think people do that in their personal life to where they just go, they've spent so much time doing shit that they don't want to do, that they're so far in debt they don't think they can get out. Yep. But the same goes on the flip side, to where it's like you can make so much fucking money, but it's like, what good is it? Yeah. Because your soul only has to be in the green by $20 to be in the green. Yeah. So it's like, what's the point of going that sort of extra mile? And then that's where the balance comes in of like, I only need to keep this thing at a couple $100 in the green. Yeah. And if my life can I can do what I want to do and I'm not taxing myself. Yep. That's perfect. You know, where I feel in that debt. So then that's where I think a guy like you has kind of figured out that it's not about the 50 million turnover. It's not about these bulk numbers, because with that, the more money comes, the more tax. Yeah. So it's like you've got to have that.
Yeah, like, mate, it's crazy. Like, if you try and, like, like I said, when we started this thing, if we thought that we'd get to this point now, like, I probably would have gone, fuck, but like I said, just getting an operations manager on just changed my fucking year. Yeah. So she can deal with the freight companies and the sales agents.
Because it's a tax man.
It is, yeah.
And then
you end up not sleeping at night because you're talking to people all over the world, Israel, US, Europe, Paris, like Spain, New York at 3 a.m. and all that shit, you turn into a zombie.
Yeah. And then you've got to do so much more on the flips. That's like, I think that's why you see people like check out. Yeah. Because I don't ever feel like I need to take a holiday. Yeah. Because I feel like you kind of constantly... So like
doing fun stuff.
Yeah, and taking a holiday is like you kind of going and you're trying to working on them credits to pay off all this debt.
Well, that's what we do when we go to like New York to this trade show we do every year. We turn it into a holiday. So we turn it into not a negative, but like a job exercise into a positive. Like, okay, we're going to go to Mexico. Yeah. And we're going to go to LA for and hang out, take the kids to Disneyland, or we're going to go to an art show somewhere, or you know what I mean? Yeah. So we turn it into a fun... But during the New York part, we're doing a trade show for 4 days, which sucks, but
because you're on your feet and
you got to do it.
Same spiel,
same shit. Yeah.
And I guess too, what I was going back before, I guess I started on a bit of a thing to try and circle back, but like you're still super attached to surfing, and what I was kind of getting at is that my core is moto. Yep. And that whole action sports thing. And it's like, so yeah, you start to see these brands come along and then it's like, I'd be doing something that wasn't like core to me. Yep. And it's like, it's funny. And I wanted to know if it was the same for you, to where like at your core is surfing. Like you're a fashion designer now. Yeah. You're a legitimate designer. Like that's as far away from the like 6 weeks on the North Shore taking photos for Quickie as you can get.
Yeah, for sure.
But at your core, are you still a surfer?
You know what? I love surfing, but like I hate to be associated with surf. Yeah. It's like embarrassing.
Yeah, because of the stigma of like the industry.
But I still love to surf.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like at your core, like just like you get up and froth to go surf.
I kind of do. I kind of lost a bit of like the love for it, but I love the ocean.
Yeah.
But I think I just kind of like, I don't know, I'm so consumed with what I'm doing that I kind of have lost the love for surfing. That's the part. Yeah.
Do you think it's because you worked in the industry and it did become like a massive grind?
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know why, but yeah, I just kind of like have a whole bunch of surfboards in the warehouse at work, and I've probably last time I surfed was like 7 weeks ago.
Really?
Just go swimming.
Yeah, right.
Do you know? So I swim in the ocean every day pretty much. Yeah. Every day I'm in the ocean.
Yeah.
But I just like on a weekend, I get up and just do other shit now. I don't, and if there's waves and one of the boys wants to surf, I'll go for a paddle, but that's not my main focus anymore.
Well, I went away from the racing and all that stuff because we were just obsessed with racing. Like, and yeah, as soon as I sort of really got in the industry, I kind of got over it because it was so saturated. And then there was like, there's a lot of fucking negative people in any industry. Yeah. Like you end up butting heads over creative stuff and people that like hate to see you succeed and things like it. I think there is a lot of like toxicity in like an industry in a way. Yeah. And then that burned me way out on it. But I've recently just got really back into it. Yeah. And just like, but more so for just the values of it. Yeah. Like kind of what it represents of like going with your mates and
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
Then you say that too, like just what you said, you'll go like down the coast for a day with one of the boys and go surf somewhere and you'll be like, this is the best fucking day ever. But you know what I mean? Like just around here, it's so fucking crowded too.
Oh, it's pretty heavy. And it feels very industry here too. Yeah. Which is probably has something to do with it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we take off a lot and go down the coast to like Boomerang Beach down near Pacific Palms, like near Foster. Go there because there's no one. Yeah. You know, and like then
the waves fire too.
And I love it down there. So I think it's just getting away from the madness of this. It probably deters anything as well. But I suppose if you break it down, back to the core, I still do love surfing somewhere down there. But yeah, you know, just got to find it again. Yeah,
that's it. And it is easy to get jaded. And especially too, like you probably had that feeling of being like let off the leash in a way too when you left Quick, and then this thing picked up a bit of steam, and now like you can do whatever the fuck you want. You know, like
it's good.
No one's gonna tell you that looks shit.
No,
you know, or like, I mean, someone will, someone at work,
someone at work will.
But like you have the freedom to do the things that you want to do. Like if you really believe and you're passionate about a design or a product or a shoot, or you can do that
for sure. And that's what I think too. Like like in my office, I have all my designs and stuff visually up on the wall, and when I'm rolling stuff out, what it is, so I look at it all day, every day, and I'm like, you think about it, and then you see it come to life, and you're like, fuck, I've created that. And I was like, I was kind of like, that was just like, let's see how this goes, and then it turns up in the range, and it's selling, and people all around the world are flogging it off for you, and you're like, fuck, that was just an idea. Like, and usually it'll be like a Saturday morning or something, I'll roll into the office when no one's there and just do shit on my own and fuck around, put the tunes on, and that's sometimes when you get the best stuff, you know. And I was looking at it yesterday, like I did this little frame, this kind of crazy chicks one, and it came out looking fucking insane. And I was like, fuck, that was like a Saturday morning when I was just bored. Yeah, came in here and just fucking drew it up, and you know,
there is something to be said about like what we were saying at the start. It's nothing, and then it's something, and then people get something from it. Like that you're like adding to like humanity in a way, you know.
It's pretty sick. Like it's rewarding, just to be able to do whatever you want. It's something to be said for that.
Yeah, and it's like even with this podcast, you get people that will say like a part. They're like, oh, I loved hearing about that, or when people like there's probably going to be people that. Like, you know, you're going to go and look at that Juggalo stuff and, you know what I mean? Like the doco on Portugal. And it's like, I don't know, there's something rad about, you just can't, it's like you're adding as opposed to subtracting from whole thing, because like we do take a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the average person is taking more than
they're giving.
Yeah, so for sure. It does feel good to like do something that can add on.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
The whole working with your wife thing. Yep. That's got to be rad. But what's the...
it's, you know what? It's a weird one. Yeah. But it's... I either thought I'd kill her or she'd kill me, or, you know, it'll
it's 50-50. There's no... That's like... That's an extreme thing to be like... It's either going to be the best thing or the fucking worst thing ever. I don't think there's in the middle. 100%. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be like, it's okay working with her.
Yeah. You know, it works. Thank fuck.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Like, not a tough one. She does a sales thing. I have my own kind of office. I can close the doors and have my own space.
Yeah.
It's a big area. And she, like, either I'm traveling and I get my own space. So that works. If I was sitting next to her every day, we'd probably kill each other. But we've been together for so long. I see her every day and I don't get sick of her, which is really weird. I think if it was one of my mates, I would not hang out with them on the weekend.
Yeah.
But she's with me all the time, you know, and it works. So thank God.
Yeah, because that's not going to work for everyone.
No, it's not.
Sure.
No.
But
and she's pretty vocal. Like, she stands her own ground, and so she gives me her fucking 2 cents worth, which is good. I respect that. So she contributes as much to what we're doing as anyone else there. So
yeah, and because you guys have been together since you're in high school, right?
Like 22 years we've been together.
That's full on.
Yeah.
Being with, like, because that's probably, how old are you?
38.
Yeah, so it's like
16.
Over, yeah.
16 till now.
Yeah, it's over half your life. Eh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy too that one of my friend's mums actually said that your partner is the person that actually knows you.
Yeah.
Like, no one else in the world really knows you. Because it's like there's like versions of people that you see. You know, like, you see a different version of me than what my girlfriend does.
Yeah.
And it's like, I never really appreciated that fact until she kind of explained it out to me. Because her and her husband have been married for like a really long time. They were together super young as well.
Yep.
And it's like, it's kind of rad when you think about that. That's a person that's known you for that long, but then they're like the only person that knows all of you. Yeah,
it's crazy for sure. And you know what? Like you said, it's to be around one human being, no matter who it is, for that amount of time. Like, and with them every day, day in, day out. Like, I'm going away next week for a few days. Like, there's a band coming down that I like. He's a mate of mine actually as well. He's from Joshua Tree.
Yeah,
and they're playing Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. She's like, just go.
Yeah.
Go. 3 days just on your own. Booked a flight, bang, I'm gone. So, like, she knows that I need my space, but it's not like I need my space. You know?
You're not demanding it.
No, she's just like, yeah, go do your thing. You know, it's just easy. I've got kind of freedom to do what I want.
What do you think lets you get on so well with like all these kind of celebrity sort of thing? Because there's a certain thing to be said for, I think there's like a certain person that kind of can go in, hang out, and is like, can be accepted into a crew. I think that people that are like super famous, it takes a person that understands that fame kind of isn't real a thing. Yeah.
I think too, like, if you got something in common, and I think too, like, the good one, someone asked me the other day, like, how the fuck are you friends with Manson? And I think, like, I go to his house by myself.
Yeah.
I never take mates, like, oh, let's go to Manson's house, you know? And he's kind of said, without saying it, like, don't bring anyone.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like a trust thing, and like, we have some mutual, like things in common we like, you know, we like the same shit, we get on well, like, we have a good time, we fucking party and fucking rage and listen to music and shit, and like, we have a good time. And then but I never am like wanting anything from him.
Yeah.
I'm never trying to take, you know, it's like you said, it's like the credits thing. Like, I go to Manson's house, so like, we've got some shades, we get on the piss, have a good old time. He shows me some clips, what he's been doing, and we just talk about shit.
Yeah.
Art, music, whatever. And it's just like, thanks, dude, catch you, see you next time. You're probably like, fuck. Yeah. You know, not like that. I think if you're not trying to suck the life out of people, but you're there to be a good human, have a good time, and look after them. If they need some shade, sweet, no worries, man. Like, okay, let's want to work on this project together. Yeah, sweet. You know, like, your intentions are genuine. It's not like there's no hidden agenda. You know, I think it's a trust, comes back to them trusting you.
Yeah, it's funny. Intentions is a thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, because I think that you can say a really fucked up thing to somebody and have good intentions. And I think you can say a really nice thing to somebody and have super fucked up intentions. So I think that, like,
what are you trying to achieve, you know? Like, without, there's an underlying thing. You're there for a reason, or like, you know, or what's the association for? Like, why am I going to Melbourne next weekend? Because I love the dude's fucking music.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's a good mate. And like, you know, that's it. I just want to go and see him play some fucking live shows. I don't have any intentions but to go and enjoy music.
Yeah. And I think that the whole intentions thing is like, if you can really read people's intentions, and if you can have good intentions of your own. Yeah. Because a lot of the times that it's hard to be in a position where, like, because you do know what Marilyn Manson would do for, your brand. You do.
Yeah.
It's really hard to not see that little apple.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And you know what too? We were talking about this the other day because thing with getting this Marilyn Manson collab over the line, has been a lot of back and forth between us and his management. You know, he's got manager, his lawyer, people. His people. It's crazy. It's crazy. And in reality for us, like, I don't know if the numbers would be amazing. I honestly don't think they would. It's more of like a fucking thing because I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but I know that if like a collab, say with Kat Von D, would outsell Manson tenfold.
Yeah. And it's probably an easier process to get across the line. Yeah,
and we've been talking about this for years, but she's just super busy doing what she's doing with her Kat Von D beauty stuff.
Yeah.
Which is going crazy for her. But Kat and I talk about it all the time about doing it. And if I was chasing money, the Kat Von D thing would have happened ages ago. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. The Manson one I think would be really differently received.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What what is it that can let you not get consumed by that apple of the set? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Because that's like a weird thing, and I think that you get filtered out super quickly. Like even with athletes and stuff, like because you'd know what you'd exactly the same thing. Like Kelly Slater, Kelly doesn't want to hang out with people that want to hit him up and things like that. But it's like, as a photographer, you know what a Kelly Slater could do for your career.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Like
or a Dane Reynolds or someone like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is this I don't know how you can. I don't know resist what it is.
Yeah, to resist the easy grab.
Yeah, and what is it about? Where does that come from for guys like yourself that kind of have been able to do that? Because I think a lot of people.
I think about that, because and especially with it could. Yeah, the Kat Von D ones is a prime example. Like I said, she's a great friend, and she said to me initially, we should do a Kat Von D for Valley, and I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I was like, oh, should we? I don't know, and Sephora deal with us a lot with we do a bunch of giveaways, and they've got a whole bunch of frames of us for Kat promotions, so. And that works well. And like I said, I'm just I don't know, the timing's probably not right. Let's just wait a little bit. She's busy with her. She's so busy. She's just a crazy workaholic. Workhorse, she's a machine. And so talented. Like you said, you should see her packaging, man. Yeah. With the Kat Von D makeup stuff. It's fucked up. She just released a 10-year anniversary big case, and it's the detailing.
Really?
It's fuck.
I'm gonna look it up.
Chick's a freak, man. She's up here as far as in my books, she's amazing.
And on that creative
level, she hand draws every fucking packaging, all the names of everything, and it's all freehandly done. And she's attention to details, really? Just nuts. Yeah, she's sick. A freak on this shit. But so I could have snatched and grabbed if I wanted to and really push the issue, but then I kind of think if you don't push the issue, and if it happens organically and she's as passionate about the project as I am, instead of me throwing it onto her, then it's going to be way better in the end. Yeah. So let's just wait till the time's right.
I wonder if it's a confidence thing too, to where, and I think the more that you're around those kind of people, because with the film stuff for me, we're doing these big athletes, and and I've seen filmers, man, that go, and you would have seen it as well, they're getting selfies with the dude that they're getting paid to shoot.
Yeah, that's so bad.
And you get they're getting wrapped up and oh, Kelly, can I have a board? Can I I was thinking when I moved out of my old house in America, I had I've got one piece of memorabilia from all the dudes I've ever shot, because I never wanted to be the guy that asked for and I have and a couple of times, but really when I knew the dude, because my dad loves it, he's got a Roxon jersey, a Wyndham jersey, and you know, but I get them for him. I'm never sign it to Jace. It's always to Pete. Yeah. And I don't, but it's always after that point where I'm okay, this guy's just legitimately, he's my friend now.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's that whole, it's I don't know. It's but it's hard to resist that. Yeah. Wanting, because man, if you go, if you text Kelly Slater hey, make sure you tag me in that photo. Yeah. Then Kelly's gonna tag you in that photo, and you're gonna get a lot out of it. But you'll probably lose that whatever it was that you had.
Yeah, it's kind of you're taking a little bit away from that
relationship.
Yeah, for sure. And like Manson's never tagged Valley once.
Yeah.
And I've never asked.
Yeah.
But you know.
But maybe that's because I'm legitimately trying to figure out what it is. But maybe it's just a pure confidence in yourself to where...
Well, I think too, if you don't rely on them, if you don't need them, but you know what, that could be cool if we did it. But but my stuff already does its own thing, where I don't I need you for this collection to be sick. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, if it happens, it happens. Like I did Manson's samples first, and then they were like, I wasn't that happy with them, so I redid him out of titanium. Yeah, stronger, lighter, like way better. And we just tweaked them, and I was like, fuck, I've redone these, and I spent all this money on redoing the molds for the metal, like, and it was an expensive process. Yeah, and we still had no contract signed, nothing. Still nothing signed. Really? And his manager, when I was at Manson's the other night, I'm like, dude, the project's fallen over. It's not happening. He's like, fuck off, it's happening. Really? But just the people. Just the people. And then I got home and got an email from his manager 2 days ago. Yeah, it's on. Fuck yeah. So it's going to be sick to it'd be sick. It's going to be sick to create the content. That's the thing I'm most excited about. Yeah. Because like when I was in Bosnia, I was texting Manson the videos and the drone, you know, I was showing you just the raw drone shots. I was like, check this fucking shit out. He's like, dude, like fuck, we didn't shoot. He'd froth. But you could never get him over something like that though. Yeah, true. It'd be a hard one. Because I wanted to do
pull forward a little bit, just that. That's just like shitty Velcro on there. Okay.
Yeah, because I sent him a thing where I wanted to do a shot with him like underwater, like drowning, like dying. But he fucking, I don't know, he wasn't too into it. He was scared of it. Yeah, man, I'm sure he's got some like weird... I don't think he can swim.
I would not be surprised.
I don't know. He didn't say he couldn't swim, but I don't know. He was like, I don't know about the water. But I don't know. We'll do something good. Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
To have those like minds come together. And I think the coolest part of it too is that it's so not your audience.
Oh, it's not. I think it will piss my audience off. They hate him. Chicks hate him.
It's full on, eh?
I don't know why. Like he's never been done for anything, right? Like doing anything wrong to women or anything. This chick, I put a post the other day, actually, like I don't usually delete stuff, but she just ran on this big rant about him and I was like, he's bad to women and stuff. Your audience is mostly women and I'm like, yeah, but come on, like...
Dude, I think he actually fucking loves women. Yeah, like dude. I think he's obsessed with women. Yeah, I think that's like one of the... We're in a weird place with like women at the moment.
Yeah, so
it's like you know that Candyman dude.
Oh yeah.
So like that guy, yeah, whatever. But
dude, you should get him in here to do a podcast.
I've tried, man. I've tried, and I've like got his people, and we were gonna do it, and he's just like his again, it's people. Yeah, and I'm like, if he could just fucking, if I could call him and be like, hey man, this is what I want to talk about. Because in my opinion, like, it's like, I don't like the style of what he does.
No,
right?
It's crazy.
Like, I think it's fucking over the top.
Chicks on leashes and shit?
Yeah, that's weird to me,
that's
right?
Crazy.
But that guy, like, I don't know him from bar except, but he loves women. Yeah. Like he chooses to surround himself with these women that he thinks is beautiful. Yeah. And it's like, so you can have, it's so easy to have a perspective of like, that guy's a fucking piece of shit. He fucking hates women. Look at how he treats these women. Yeah. These women are there. Yeah. And none of them are being held captive. Yeah. So it's like they want to do it. You can't judge people based on what you like. Just because you don't like to see chicks in fucking leather lingerie and sucking each other's nipples. Yeah. That doesn't mean those chicks don't really like sucking that other chick's nipples and being in that. But it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
it's
that's where the judgment is. But to say that he hates women is probably about
polar opposite,
as wrong as you could be. Yeah. But it's like his loving women isn't your idea of loving women. Yeah. And I think that's where Manson is. Yeah. To where, like, I've heard in it, like, I mean, I've fucking watched every YouTube interview of him ever. Yeah. And like I'm pretty sure he's a sexaholic for starters. Or like a sex addict. But he loves women. Yeah. Like the way he talks about his girlfriends at the time, or I don't know if he's engaged or whatever.
No, he's got a new chick at the moment.
Yeah, but the chick he had at the time, like she was in the video and like the way he talked about her was just like, he was obsessive over her like beauty and her aura. And it's like, you can look on the outside and it's so easy to judge that as like, he fucking hates women, he like Satan worship, like no, he loves women.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we just,
that's why I was wondering about the hate like towards it. Like, where did that come from? Like that what the fuck? You just don't like his music or what?
It's funny too that But that's the genius of him, is like that shock value.
Yeah.
Why are we so shocked by that?
Yeah. What, different coloured eyes and a little makeup and some like crazy outfits?
Yeah, and like the name as well, like Marilyn Manson. You've got Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson. Like it's just yin and yang. Like, so it's symbolism.
Yeah, and it's like,
you know what I mean? And it's smart symbolism.
So smart, dude. So smart. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's amazing. Have you seen that new film clip he just put out with, what's it called? Oh, it's fucking unbelievable.
I haven't seen it, no.
It's, I'll show you when we wrap this up, but it's fucking nuts. It's the one Courtney Love's in, pushing him in a wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
They'll put it on the big screen in his house and we're watching it. Oh, fucking, yeah.
That's sick.
It was sick.
His like music's fucking brilliant. Like,
there's that Tyler Bates guy, that guitarist with him. Yeah. He does like he scores like horror films and all like TV shows, and he's a modern day genius within his own right as well. So pairing up with him for the last 2 albums was just fucking brilliant.
I got his new album, but I haven't really listened. Actually, I'm going to listen to it on the way home.
Yeah. Tattooed in Reverse is the video clip with him and Courtney Love, and it's fucking brilliant. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm frothing to see that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, but it's funny though that, like he's doing the things he's doing just to shock people, but it's like, it's almost like, I mean, he'd be a fucking amazing dude to talk to just to really understand why he's doing what he's doing. But it's like, I think you need that kind of guy to then, and same with like a Candyman, to be like, what am I shocked about? What is it that I'm really, you know, like, because what they're doing is like they're posing a question to us, and us as in society, and the people,
exactly. What about that scares you? Like, what shocks you? Like, what makes you uncomfortable?
And what have you got in the closet that makes you feel like? Are you scared that you like that? Yeah. And I think that that's such a. I mean, I had a conversation with a dude I train with. And he's very conservative and this and that, and he was like telling, I don't want to go into too much detail, but he was saying some stuff that he's at odds with different, like he's kind of pulled in different directions because of how conservative. And I'm like he just made a relationship decision based on something, and I just said to him, like, what's this decision based on? I was like, because what's your concern based on? Like, it sounds to me like you're basing this on fear. I was like, you've never done any of this stuff that you're condemning. Yeah. You've never experienced it. And I'm like, what are you scared of? Are you scared of what might get released? Are you scared of what you might like? Yeah. Because there is this weird thing where like you can make these judgment calls on something you've never done. Yep. And I struggle with that. I'm like, if I'm going to make a decision, I kind of want to understand the decision. Yeah. And I think that maybe that's why people hate Marilyn Manson, is it's like, what are you scared of this? Because it's like you kind of deep down, like you really like this shit. Yeah, it's good. And it's the same with like you know, the Candyman thing too. It's like, what are you afraid that you'd like to have 5 women in your house that you got to fuck every night? Yeah. Like, are you afraid to admit that to the world? And as a chick, are you afraid that you might want to, you know what I mean? Yeah. A friend of ours was the Candyman's nanny, actually. Really? Yeah. Any goss? Nothing really. Like she had to sign like a non-disclosure. Yeah. She wasn't allowed to speak too much about it, so she didn't really open her mouth. Yeah, fair enough. So I thought it was pretty fun. She goes, fucking, wild. He's wild, yeah. But like, I don't know, the world needs wild people. For sure they do. We need freaks and geeks. Yeah, definitely. You need them. And again, it's like, it's that whole thing of like, the guys that take those fucking big steps are the ones that kind of drag us all along in little steps. Yeah, for sure. Make you go, fuck, I should do something crazy, you know? Do you have a bit of that when you're designing stuff? Yeah, you know. Because your frames are full on. Yeah. And you know what's funny too? Like, even with the last collection, I pulled some back and tried to do like something that was a little more conservative, not as crazy as I have done. And, but I think we just it got to a point where I've just realized people come to us for that shit. Yeah. And like, there is people that your Ray-Ban people, your Oakley guys and whatever, you know, Chanel or whatever the fuck you wear. And then people come to Valley for the bold, chunky stuff, you know, stuff that's different. And I think that we need to embrace that instead of running away from it. And so like you see, the new stuff that I'm about to launch is pretty crazy. It's actually fucking crazy, but it's good. Like, I don't care. What do you think? Like, when I was a kid, or like not a kid, when I was younger, I'd like stick to what everyone was wearing, like the Oakleys and like whatever anyone else is wearing, and like these glasses, I would be like, fuck, I can't pull that off. How many times do you hear people saying like the sunglasses thing, like I could never pull them off.
Yeah, and then they put them on, they're like, oh, these actually look pretty dope.
But it's not about like it's everyone's face is different, and but it's like I think that the biggest part of like pulling it off is owning what you're wearing and like having confidence.
Your internal confidence for sure. Yeah. And that's the thing too for us, man, is like crew with big heads. Like, I've got a fucking big head. Yeah. And you admitted that quickly. And like, you know, when I was trying to wear sunnies, it was like hard to find sunnies for big melons. Like, you know, so I've designed some sunnies for big heads, and we sell so many to like Kiwi guys and Samoans and crew with big scones, you know? Yeah. So like, again, embrace it. Yeah. Like do stuff for the guys with the little pinheads as well. But I mean, you know, people weren't catered for in our market. Yeah. So we've got one that's called a DB. It's one of the first frames I ever did, and it's still like one of our number one selling frames, and it still was in our first range ever. Yeah. Yeah, so, it's like my mate, he's like one of my best friends in the States. He's a Atlanta boy, East Coast, like not much style going on. And he always said, and like I'll tell him that to his face too, so it's not a dig. Yeah. And he always like, I bought some sunnies at an airport the last time we were in Atlanta. Yep. And he's like, oh, I could never pull them off. And I was like, dude, there's no like this pulling it off thing is like you being scared of what you think you look like. Yeah. Like, or what someone's going to say. Yeah. Yeah. There's no pulling it off, man. Yep. Like once you decide that like, oh, I fucking look good in this. Yep. Then you're pulling it off. It's making you feel good. It's giving you a little chip up, you know? Yeah. That's what I mean. And even with chicks, like it's like the crazier you make them or the crazier the color gives them more attention. They're like, yeah, everyone's looking at me. Fuck yeah. They love it. Yeah. You know, they're not spewing. Someone's looking at them going, fuck, how's her glasses, you know? But it's like, that's the, like even some of the fucking sexiest models are the ones that should like big gaps in their teeth and traditionally, you know, not what you'd call like hot or fitting, like the mold kind of thing. But it's like, you just see, there's nothing sexier than a person that's just owning their look. Yeah, and for sure. And you can tell that it's their look. Yep, they just ooze it. Yeah, for sure. And it's like, I guess that's what it comes back to, that whole cool thing again. Yeah. Like, cool is actually having the balls to be yourself. Yeah. Because you're the only person that can be yourself. That's like styling people for shoots, you know, as well. Like the way you style them and the way you dress them just represents everything as well. The whole picture that you're trying to perceive of your brand is just as important as anything else, you know. Like, fuck, I want to get one of those like albino models, you know, that is fucking white. Dude, you know, white eyebrows. Like, I've been trying to find one for a while. I fucking know a dude for you, man. I got his email. I did a music video. I'll show you him. Sick. Yeah, because like I've always kind of go for looking for the weird, kind of obscure. You might have seen this guy. People. Bloody hell! I'm doing a bit of. We're doing a bit of research here on the podcast. We don't normally do it. Little R&D. This is your guy. Oh, I do know that guy. Yeah. He was in a music video we did. Yeah, sick. So I got his email there if you want it. Fuck yeah. He'd be sick to shoot. Yeah, he's I feel like he'd be the guy to shoot with like Manson for the Manson frame or something. Dude, for sure, man. Yeah, he was a cool guy. Yeah. Yep. Did you see that shoot? Manson did a shoot with Teal Coco. Do you know that chick, that Aussie chick? No. For who was it for? Paper Magazine, maybe? Oh yeah. And what's his name? Terry Richardson shot it. Oh yeah, yeah. Spitting blood on him and shit. It's fucking sick. Dude, I want to get Terry Richardson on the podcast. He's an interesting dude. I wrote a screenplay for a movie based on him. No way. Yeah, it just sat in my laptop for like fucking 5 years. So good. I feel like his one would be like pretty dope. Yeah. With like all the shit he shot and shit he's done, and with his, you know, shit with his mum and all that stuff. And like, dude, you don't really look at him and be like, oh, you're a great photographer. Yeah. Like, he's kind of like, he is, but it's like his thing was to like not give a fuck. Yep. Point and shoot. He invented that like standing on the wall. What's that camera he used? The fucking I forget. It's like a Yashica T4 maybe? Yeah, okay. Yashica T4, like the point and shoot. Yeah. And like the photos of, he just like, he's one of those guys too where, because you know what it's like being a photographer, where the fucking kookier and like unafraid you are to be like almost sleazy and disrespectful and like Yeah.
It's like a weird control power thing in like those really good photographers, eh?
Yeah.
And they make people like, I think super comfortable and super uncomfortable is what gets the best shots.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
If you're a guy that's like the nice, cordial kind of, like, because I'm kind of that. Like that's why I've never really done. Like I've done some fashion stuff and it's like look cool photography, but it was like for my chick.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, I'm doing some photos for her and I know the models and stuff.
Yep.
And then I've been on shoots where, yeah, you get like the fashion guy comes in and he's like, it's kind of awkward and arrogant and chauvinistic and like overly bossy, and it's like it's a fucking awkward situation a lot of the times, but it gets like such brilliance out of it.
It does, yeah. Orchestrated madness.
It is,
yeah, for sure.
And it's like those really dysfunctional dudes are like the guys that can
good
pull
guys
that
at doing
off.
it. Yep.
Yeah. Have you shot with any guys that are like that?
A couple, like we've when I was at Quik, we did stuff with like Quik Women's and the Roxy stuff, and you deal with a couple of guys like that. But most of the guys I've shot most of our stuff, and the couple of guys we've used have usually been friends, and they're pretty mellow, so we wouldn't have anyone really around like that.
Yeah, but it definitely.
I've seen them though. I've seen it.
Some,
it does produce some magic for sure. Yeah.
But it's uncomfortable, isn't it?
Super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like the cockiness is like, I'm going to create brilliance of you, you know?
Yeah, like you will be better because of me.
Because of me, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's full on,
It's fucking weird, yeah.
But yeah, a guy like that is, and then again, there's people that you can see they get like so obsessed with lighting and exposures and different things, and he almost wants that like
overblown, just
fucking gross, like technically wrong, like not gross in terms of how it looks, but gross in terms of like the technicality behind shooting.
He's putting his flash up two stops too far, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly, and there's like really ugly shadows, but it's just again, there's like that kind of madness in it.
Yeah,
because like, do you fuck with the D'Antwoord guys?
No, they got the same manager as Manson.
Really?
Tony Ciula. So like, I want to do some shit with them. That'd be fun.
As like, do you like them in terms like you kind of know a lot about their stuff,
and
their style and that? Because they would suit your shit to a T.
Yeah, I know. I want to work with them. That's like, I've already mentioned that to Tony. Just like, fuck, we should get some shit going, because they're all the same group, you know.
Yeah. Because they're another one that like, are just like crazy fucking raw and
like,
no
fucks given.
No, man. Like, dude, I was thinking about it the other day. He fucking says nigger in his songs.
Yeah.
Like just straight N-bombs.
Yeah.
And no one, like, did you know what we were talking about, intentions?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can say a fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Like, he can say that and you know he has no bad intentions and everyone's cool with it. So, like, isn't that interesting that a guy...
Oh, I know. It's crazy. Mate, the other night we were out in LA. My two mates that were with me, they're brothers, and one of the brothers was super drunk, dropped the N-word twice. My other mate was so mortified. He wrapped him up and took him home.
Yeah.
You cannot say that.
Yeah.
Like, and he wasn't saying it like disrespectfully. He was like, yeah, damn, you know, and like mucking around, and it was like, no, mate, you know. So you see a guy like that sings it on
stage, singing it, it's
ballsy,
full on, and like just not giving a fuck. And then you're like, well, he's not racist,
no.
So it's like that intentions. That's what I always like. It's weird, especially in the States. Like here, I'll sing, you know, like the rap stuff we were talking about. Like I listen to it probably more than I would care to admit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all that. That's just what it is. It's like N.
Yep.
And you like, I want to sing it. Like I'm singing the lyrics. I don't want to like pull myself up because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, unintentionally,
I'm recreating, like I'm singing their lyrics. That's an homage to their art.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy their art.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's even for us to like, you can't sing that. And like, there'd be dudes that would, if you sung it, and like even in a club and stuff, you know what I mean? Like people would pull you up. It's like, whoa. And it's like, man, I know the words to the song that the black dude, the black dude made. Like,
but you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah. So that's a weird thing.
That's a weird one.
But then like, you get that dude like Ninja.
Yeah.
And you're just like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny? Like I wanted to ask you your thoughts on this. Is fringe culture is culture now. And it's like, is that maybe why the whole Quik thing and, you know, Quik and Billabong and DC and all those brands, because it was like they were culture in a way. And then now fringe culture is culture. And it's almost like so anti that big business
commercial,
commercial thing now.
Yeah.
And it has to be because of the internet. Because
for sure.
You think about those kind of freak outlier dudes, like,
Yep.
and that's why I think we saw like the Marilyn Mansons explode, and then like you can have a festival full of juggalos.
Yeah.
Because it's like the internet connected all these freaks.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it made them so legitimate and so many people that like, fringe culture almost is culture.
Yeah.
And now it's like, seems like a mad rush to take everything you can from fringe culture and put that into the corporate world now.
Yep.
And like, did you see Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
So like that whole Joker thing was like, that's like Marilyn Manson and fucking Ninja.
Yeah.
That character was them two people merged.
Yeah, for sure.
And even the artwork inside the house and stuff, like that's all Ninja and Yolandi shit.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that?
It's crazy, hey? Yeah, mate, it is such a powerful thing. Even though too, like when you go to a trade show, like in our industry, sunglass and optical world, a brand like ours stands out at a trade show like a set of big dog balls. Yeah. Because you see someone that's like Chloe, like the Philos and your Luxotticas, like Oakley has like a putting green. Yeah. Or like you fish the Oakley letters out of a fish tank. We're doing fucking tequila shots and smacking metal in a fucking thing. Yeah. And it's just like all black and white, valleyed out. And everyone's just like, what the fuck are these guys? You know what I mean? And like, it's just polar opposite to these people. But people like, you know, like I just went and got big buckets of like champagne and shit. Yeah. Chick to ask them like, drink? And they're like, fuck yeah. And people like, they're like, what's going on? And then they know you're Australian, and then they're just like, that's what I mean. They're like, thank fuck there's something here that's not the same as all this shit, you know? Yeah. And I was like, thank you. Like, that's great.
Yeah. And it's fucking liberating when you can be yourself.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah. Because again, it's that whole thing of like, it's fucking hard to try and be the right thing.
Yeah, not be too offensive in a situation like that, but be direct but just be like, be yourself, you know? Like fucking, yeah, you have to. It's perfect.
Yeah, and there's such a but then you'll see those companies will copy the designs, but they won't copy the culture.
We had the guy who's like the president of Safilo. That own,
what are they?
They're like a big corporation that has like Chloe. They do like Saint Laurent eyewear. Not Saint Laurent. Oh, they do a whole bunch. Anyway, like big labels. Yeah. And he was at our booth like every day. The president like picking Tennille's brain, like, where are you guys for sale and da 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 da. I mean, like,
is that on the cards? Because I know that a lot of brands, will get like fucking big buyouts from those. Because what's the one that owns Louis?
Kering Group.
Kering Group.
Yeah.
So didn't they just buy Supreme as well? Yeah. So like Kering Group bought, who else did they buy in our kind of space?
They bought Electric, Volcom.
Yep, that's right. They did the Volcom thing.
They got like Slater's label.
Yep.
All that.
Yeah. So that, I think that too, a big part of the market is like people that have identified that as a trend now and have like started companies just to make enough noise to get bought out by like those companies. Yeah. Because that Volcom deal was worth fucking squillions.
Shit tons, yeah.
And sure. I surfed in Hawaii with the guy that started Volcom. Yeah. And I had no idea who he was or anything like that. And I was there shooting like a moto movie. Yeah. And then he's like, oh man, I'm super into moto movies. And he's like, we just released one. And I was like, oh, that's fucking rad. And he's like, yeah, it was the Villapoto one, the Volcom. And I was like, oh, sick. How are you involved? He's like, oh, I own Volcom. And he's like, well, I just sold it, but yeah. Yeah. And I was like tripping.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so like, I don't know, is that on the cards ever, you reckon? Like,
yeah, that'd be. I wouldn't complain. I don't know. Yeah, it would depend what the terms were. Yeah, because I wouldn't sell Valley and then not be involved for a long period of time where I could ensure that it was remained the same.
Yeah, right.
Do you know, like?
Yeah, because Ray-Ban, when they bought Oakley, there was like that 7-year thing. Yeah, where they had to keep like the corporate structure and things like that. So I've got friends like high up at Oakley that were like, dude, that 7-year, the day of that 7-year, man. Next, we're on the chopping block.
Yeah, for sure.
And the whole thing changed.
Yeah, for sure. So like, you can see that happening.
That's real.
Yeah. I guess, if someone was going to come and throw a big fat check at you at some point down the track, probably I wouldn't say no. If it was right. Yeah. But I'd still fuck, I'd be staying around for a long time to make sure it was legit.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, like you have to, how could you just give it up? It's like giving up one of your children.
Dude, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like we've spoken about it already. Like there's been a couple of instances from a couple of corporations that have already come our way.
Yeah.
And it was just like conversation, nothing too crazy. And I was like,
has anyone thrown out dollar figures at you?
No.
Because fuck, that'd be a carrot, eh?
Oh, I know, it'd be a hard one.
Yeah.
But as long as, like I've said to Neil and Matt, my business partner, I'm like, dude, like everyone, there's a price for everything.
Yeah.
Of course. Like you're crazy to say no.
Yeah.
But I would ensure that it was done. I was there for at least 5 years to make sure that it was consistent and we still had that freedom, creative freedom, and that, I oversaw everything. Still, you know what I mean? It's just like, I couldn't give it up. I love it too much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy, and I don't think a lot of people know the behind workings of like that whole thing, and the Supreme Louis thing, and like the Keurig Volcom. But dude, a lot of those brands seem to go backwards in a pretty big way when that happens. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's the thing. The people that are there, maybe because they're chipped up, they're cashing out.
Yeah,
the passion's gone, or whatever it is. But like even Electric's been bought back by the guy that originally started it, I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that deal that fell apart in the end. But I don't know. They never really do succeed, do they? Like even Quick bought DC, Ken Block, and that all chipped out, and it just went to they cashed their chips in, and DC was over.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And then Quiksilver too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a business is only as good as the people that are running it.
Well, mate, we sat around the other day for like so long about a fucking swing tag.
Yeah,
like
right.
A swing tag means so much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I mean. I think in a corporate environment, they just be like, oh yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
But with us, no. We've got to make sure it's right, And I think because you just care so much about it and you love it.
And that's where the fun is almost, right?
Yeah, for sure. And getting it in. And when you do get it right, you're like, fuck yeah. Like even, gift wrapping is important to us. And like the little rubber seal that goes on the gift wrapping and then it gets packaged to the consumer. Like that's epic.
Yeah, and I think like that saying, like, love is in the details.
Yeah.
Is so true.
I get like tagged on people's videos and messages like on Instagram when they unwrap the gift wrapping that they're stoked.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So people they care. They care as much as we do. And it's sick.
And I think like maybe that's another thing too, to where it comes back to that whole like consumerism thing, to where it's like the companies that really succeed are the ones that like respect the intellect of the consumer in a way. Because you can see products where it's like they don't give a fuck.
No, exactly. And like the other day we got some samples like of hats for us to potentially do some hats, and I was like, nah, it's not right. It's cheap. Yeah. I'm like, we don't want to do that. You keep it premium, and if the product's not perfect, then we're not doing it. It doesn't fit.
Are you guys generally going to try and go into other stuff?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence on that one. Like our optical business is expanding quite quickly, and
so the glasses stuff.
Yeah. So we're focusing a lot on that, and I do want to venture into other things, but again, it has to be so right. Like I think you could do so much damage if you got it so wrong. Like even just like other accessories and stuff like that. Like we've looked into a few other options of doing other things. I'm sure we'll be doing goggles soon enough, and snow goggles, moto goggles, or whatever.
Damn. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Dude, how crazy did that whole Gucci goggle thing happen for a minute? Like, I feel like every vlogger, every rapper, like Ray Shreemid, everyone's like started doing that whole goggle thing for like a hot minute. Huh?
Yeah, I know. Fucking crazy.
It's crazy that shit, like even you can hear it in those like that kind of trap world. It's like shit just has a moment where it's like, bands, there's like these key phrases like bands, skirt, like all, and it's like as soon as like someone says one of these keywords, and then it's just like that'll kind of go through a cycle, and then it's onto the next keyword. Yeah, it's full on.
It's crazy, fucking oath. It's wild, man.
Just how shit can take on like that.
It's fucking nuts.
So well, we've been going for how long? 2 hours 27 minutes, mate. Are you keen to get some food?
Yeah, fuck, it's crazy.
I'm pretty. Did it feel like it went?
No, it didn't feel like it was that long at all. We're just like we're fucking wrapping out.
Yeah, no, it's a cool like. It's such a fucking cool medium, man. Like, because I mean, you'll be episode number 17.
Yep.
So it's crazy to like put out that you sort of just start doing this show, and it goes, and like, man, that's like so many, everything's like 2.5 hours. It just doesn't feel like it.
Doesn't feel like it at all. We're just like chatting, and the next minute, fucking bam.
Yeah, 2.5 hours is gone.
That's crazy.
It's crazy that you don't even look up and you're not like tripping on the time.
That's wild. Because I was meant to be at this thing at 2:00. I thought it was like 12:30.
What time is it? Oh, it's 1:49. Well, you better get going.
I've got to bounce. That's fine.
No burritos, maybe a beer after or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, where can everyone? Let's tell people how they can see you, because I'm not sure that a lot of people that listen to this would have like a deep understanding of what you guys do.
Yeah.
Hopefully now, obviously.
Or our website.
What's that?
What do you say? Where they can see us?
Yeah. Let's give people some links of some stuff that they can see.
Yeah, I guess just our website's valleyeyewear.com, and just Instagram is just at Valley Eyewear. Get it all from there.
What else?
Retailers, you can get us in the US at Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus.
Yep.
And we got to stock us everywhere, so all the stock us listed on the website, all throughout the world. And
is there anything kind of coming up that you want to kind of shout out?
Oh yeah, we're doing a release on May 1st of our new collection we shot on that trip. Yep. It's called Black Zero. So it's 5 styles, all flat zero base lenses, all black with 24 karat gold hinges, all black murdered out logos.
Fuck yeah.
So it's just all black and all zero base, so it's Black Zero.
Sick. Well, we will May 1st, you said?
May 1st, yeah.
We'll chuck a bunch of it on our story, like, so people can see it as well when it comes out.
Awesome.
But dude, fucking sick chat, man.
Thanks, man.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was awesome.
Sweet.
Thanks for having me.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, sorry I fucking took so long.
Mate, all good.
I just like looked and I was like, holy shit, that's fucking 2 hours.